Day of the Sex Offender Administration. A drone assault hit a major U.S. diplomatic facility in Iraq on Tuesday in a suspected retaliation by pro-Tehran militias to the U.S. and Israel's war on Iran. And Trump was just droning on about Iran almost being out of drones. Two former New York City police officers, Justin McMillan and Justin Colin, who prosecutors say stole a brothel key and then robbed and groped a sex worker, are now facing federal charges after their initial state charges were dismissed on a technicality. They were indicted Tuesday on charges of felony conspiracy against rights and willfully depriving an individual of her constitutional rights in connection with the July 24th incident. I'm just learning that brothels had locks. I thought their doors, like their legs, were always opened. Democrat Sean Harris, a retired Army Brigadier General, and Trump-endorsed Republican Clay Fuller, a district attorney in Northwest Georgia, will advance to an April runoff in a race to replace former Republican Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene. The winner will get her seat, and the loser will get her. Canadian police boosted security around U.S. and Israeli diplomatic buildings on Tuesday after shots were fired at the U.S. consulate in Toronto early Tuesday morning, in what Prime Minister Mark Carney called a, quote, reprehensible act, close quote. Reprehensible act. That's the recurring theme of the Trump administration. One reprehensible act after another. This has been the Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll with headlines and punchlines for March 11th, 2026, the 415th day of the Sex Offender Administration. Join me live at the Church of Last Resort Sunday mornings at 9 a.m. Eastern Time on MindDog TV.
The opinions expressed on this program are those of the host or guest and should not be interpreted as statement of fact. Independent fact-checking and corrections are encouraged.
Can we get a cup of coffee in here, please?
What's going on? Hello.
Mind Dog is your mind's best friend.
I don't know about that.
Mind Dog is your mind's best friend.
Wake up, America. You've got a dog that needs walking. That's right, sunshine. Just put on a big pot of strong coffee and get ready to type your little hate mail with your opinions about kumbaya and flat earth insanity. Stand-up comedy? You want stand-up comedy? Well, we've got sit-down comedy. It's time for Coffee with a Dog. You make me laugh.
All right. Good morning, folks. It is Wednesday, March 11th. Look at the calendar. March 11th, 2026. Are you ready to win? Today we're going to learn about winning. Winning! Are you ready to become a winner? It's probably too late for me, right? Listen, at 66 years of losing, I lose again. I don't know. And beginner's mind secret. Like, can I be a beginner at when I'm ready to die? Anyway, Tom Mitchell, who is a coach of coaches, of athletes and business leaders everywhere. Written books with Joe Montana. He's walked 300 miles with Mickey Hart from the Grateful Dead. And he's going to tell us about how to become a winner. That's in the second hour. But in the first hour, we're just going to be a couple of losers, just wondering, I want to be a winner. You hear that wheezing? I'm dying. But it's good news. Makes room for another person on the planet, right? That's what they always say. One person dies and a brand new baby's born. Good for the baby. Good for the baby. That's what I say. But I am going to see a doctor tonight. No, I'm not going to the doctor. I have a doctor on the evening show who's going to talk about heart attacks, which I might be having. But it would be the longest heart attack anybody ever had, and not like, boy, I'm listening to myself wheeze. I'm going to call myself Big Wheezy. Whatever happened to Big Wheezy? So anyway, yeah, we're going to learn about winners. We'll maybe learn about Joe Montana. I don't know. About the Golden State Warriors. Here's something I definitely am going to ask him about, because he's got a couple of books about the secret to winning baseball. Italy. Oh, my God. Italy. Who even knew they had a baseball team? They're probably just... Anyway, they beat the USA in this World Cup baseball, whatever the fuck. Sorry, I didn't mean to drop an F-bomb there. This World Baseball Classic, whatever the hell it is, where the people from other countries who play baseball, but they beat the USA. It's our game. It's like, you know what? I don't know. I don't know what else to compare it to. Like hockey, like beating Canada in hockey, I guess. Italy. Who even knew Italy knew what baseball was? I guarantee they don't have like no, I'm not going to guarantee that. I gotta send Tom a link to log in. He's not seeing a lot. He's not due for another hour, but good for him. Let me take care of that. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to tell you about Wine Express, and then I got to get right on to getting in touch with Tom there about his little issues. So because I don't want to delay him on that stuff, well, let me tell you about Wine Express. Is that loud enough? That's probably not loud enough to do an impressive fade out at the end here, because you know me, I'm all about fade outs. I'm Mr. Fade Out. I'm fading out myself a little bit. That's good. Let me tell you about Wine Express. WineExpress.com is the exclusive wine shop partner of the Wine Enthusiast catalog and website, which have been providing quality wine accessories and storage for 40 years. During that time, they served millions of satisfied customers and built a loyal following of avid wine lovers. And what do you call them? Class? Winos, that's correct. It's only natural then for them to have teamed up with the Great Wine Shop to bring their customers first quality wines at value prices. Like if you buy these 3 bottles they're showing you in this picture there, it should come to just enough to get the free shipping. I think you have to spend $49 to get the free shipping. Anyway, right now I'm going to say hello to our chief wino correspondent. Hold on, I got with the picture. Take the picture out. And I'm going to watch this beautiful fade out I do. It's like a classic radio fade out. Just a little bit at a time. You have to do it manually. You have to actually pull the thing down while I talk to our chief wine correspondent, GD Fenderson. Good morning, GD.
Good morning, America. MindDogTV.com. Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages and shapes and sizes, St. Patrick's Day is 6 days away. So if you haven't ordered your stuff by now, fuck it. But you can go to minddogtv.com/merch to order your Easter gear. That's right. Get all your bunny stuff, your bunny outfits, your maid's outfits, your tortoise and hare outfits. All of it is available at minddogtv.com/merch just in time for Easter, which is April 5th this year. For those of you not keeping
track. Yeah.
And
it's a long...
check out the Crack the Sky CD, Blessed.
Wow. What was that again? Show that again.
Blessed.
Oh,
Crack the Sky.
All right, crack the sky. I thought you wanted to crack the sky. Yeah. So winning.
Somebody's got that stuff. Your buddy, Mr. Nice. He's got that song for you. Old man Weezer, that old man Weezer. He don't say nothing.
I like it.
Must know something.
You don't know nothing. But I will tonight because I'm seeing a doctor. Did I tell you I'm seeing a doctor?
Well, on the show. You're not
Yeah, Jeffrey.
actually.
Exactly. That doesn't count. What do you mean? He can't diagnose me and say, if all I want to say is, listen, I'm wheezing like a son of a fucker. You hear me wheezing, and I'm short of breath, and I always feel like I'm dying. If I stand up right now, I'm
He's
gonna
going to
go.
tell you. He's going to tell you you're allergic to chickens and cats.
No, he's gonna
That's
say,
what he's
don't
going to
stand
tell
up.
you.
If I say when I stand up, I feel like I'm dying, he's gonna say, well, don't stand up.
That's right.
Oh, okay. He found the link, so I didn't have to go through all that trouble. These people, you know what? He's a winner, though. He's got that beginner's mind. What the hell? Beginner's mind secret. What? Am I not a beginner? I mean, my mind is not a beginner, right? My mind is an
Your
older.
mind is lost to history.
Yeah, it's right. You're right. So, what's new? Anything new? Is there anything new? No.
Well, I had my class, my weekly workshop with Dylan Brody last night.
All right. All right.
And we worked on touching up part of my set for my show in March. I mean in April in Michigan.
Is this the first time you've had the class since you had sex with him out there on Laguna Beach?
No, second.
So all right. So look, these bots, they're what are they? They're persistent.
The kickbots, yeah. Hey, good morning, kickbots. Wouldn't know what to do without you.
Does that work on the wheeze? No, still wheezing. I don't know. You know what? And if I die, let me die. You know what movie? What play is that from? Well, what musical is that from?
Oh, Guys and Dolls. I don't know.
It's Guys and Dolls.
Oh, okay. Jesus Christ Superstar.
You're not a big musical guy, are you?
I love musicals.
Right. Yeah.
I just don't know all of them.
What would be a good one?
Oh, my favorite one is the classic West Side Story, and then Jesus Christ Superstar, the movie.
Wow.
With Natalie Wood and Rita.
Natalie Wood. There you go. Now I got Natalie Wood.
Rita Moreno.
Rita Moreno. Come on. There's no. Once you say Natalie Wood, you got to start and build up to Natalie Wood. You don't start at Natalie Wood and then go to Rita Moreno. Oh, come on. It's like buzzkill. I was already at Natalie Wood.
That's one of my. Oh, Rita Moreno's pretty hot.
Yeah, pretty hot.
But
you know what?
What?
I was 3 boats away when Natalie Wood. I had nothing to do with it. I was
3 boats away
from when Natalie Wood.
Okay, I know what a car length is. That's when you're driving down the road, and that's basically 3 seconds. Okay, what is a boat?
Well, at Avalon, where the boats are docked, there are berths. But to say 3 boats away, there weren't a lot of boats there in the harbor, so it was at least 1,000 feet away.
Okay, that's what I want to know. How does that translate? 3 boats away? It's like
it could be like 10 feet away or 30 feet away.
But, depending on the boat, or if you have little dinghies or canoes, you could be like within arm's reach.
Yeah, and that time of year, and I think it wasn't a weekend. I don't remember now, but it wasn't busy. Have you ever been to Avalon? What a crazy, wild little a little island there. What is the island? Come on, what's the island?
Long Island.
No. Man, I'm shot.
Manhattan,
look at me.
The island of Manhattan?
Yeah, it's in California. It's off Long Beach. It's where people go for the weekend, but Avalon is the town on the island. There's only one town on the island. And what is the beach? Damn it. Somebody in the chat room, bail the old man out. He's fucking fading fast.
Okay.
Look at me.
Where Avalon? I know that's a song by. I know that's a
Catalina.
song.
Catalina. Thank you, Sunshine. Oh, thank you. If it wasn't for Sunshine, where would I be? I'd be dead.
Well, we
Sunshine is
all
the
need
only thing keeping me
sunshine.
alive.
Sunshine on my shoulder. Well, makes me happy.
I was out in the sunshine yesterday. We've been blessed to have 2 beautiful spring days here now. It's raining here today, so
All right.
so
Well, good. You need the rain.
yeah.
I need the rain. Otherwise, I mean, I just had to take buckets of water out into the field to water my new plants. I needed the exercise and they needed the water. But I don't know if those bulbs. Actually, I don't know if those bulbs are too old to grow. I'm gonna give them a couple of weeks. And if they don't grow, then I'm going to replace them with hospices, which is what I wanted there anyway. I wanted hospice there so that when the deer need more hospice to eat, I'll have more hospice.
Hostages?
Hospice, yeah. Hospices.
It's like one of these idiots who did it. It sounds close enough. It must be. There's only so many words. And if they sound whatever. You say it needs rain because we had, I don't know if you're aware, I don't know if you know this about Long Island, but we had a lot of snow up until 2 days ago, and then it all melted, and I was sitting thinking about this yesterday. The grass must be overwhelmed because we didn't have floods. It all melted and went down into the grass there. The grass must be like, all right, enough with the water, bloated.
Yeah, but it's not, okay, but not just grass needs the water. There are other plants down there too. There's like the tree roots. The trees need good water, and the tree roots grow deep. Well, I wish they'd go deeper because right now they're like popping up in my ground. Because I live like I have a slight in grade, a very slight my ass. The kids before our house was put here. This is where the kids used to go sleigh riding in the neighborhood. And then they put our house here and the kids are like, fuck, where are we going to go sleigh riding now? Because it was like a nice long 100-foot, 200-foot thing. Just, even had dips and turns. But then they put our house here and now the dips and turns is my lawn. And the grass, the dirt is slowly wearing away and the tree roots keep popping up out of nowhere. Well, not really nowhere, from under the ground.
From under. That's my favorite cheese, by the way.
From under cheese is good cheese.
What's going on with this war thing? Is it over yet?
Well, it's not going to be over until people forget about the Epstein files. And when in here they have to forget about the Epstein files, and in Israel they have to forget that Netanyahu is a war criminal.
Oh, Netanyahu's got he can't leave, right? He can't leave Israel. Any place he goes, he's going to get arrested. Is that the deal?
No, because if he comes here, we won't arrest him here.
But
if he comes to the U.S., he won't be arrested because we don't really recognize the authority of that court.
If he could get to New York, but they said airspace. So basically, if he goes to any of their airspace, they're gonna force him to land and arrest him. So they were saying he can't even get to New York. That's the problem. If he even tries to get to New York, they'll bust him.
I would suspect that somebody tried to shoot the plane down. So they found that he was on the plane, they'd probably shoot it down.
Don't we have a disclaimer about shooting planes down? We need a disclaimer.
Yeah, it's I'm just blowing off steam.
Oh yeah, it's blowing off steam, and a missile going at a plane would be blowing off contrails.
Well, something will be blowing off. Yeah.
Wow. So the war's not over. But I was thinking about this. Trump's MO generally is just to declare victory and nothing change. All right, we're done.
Yeah, but he does that after what he wants accomplished is accomplished. He doesn't have a plan. He doesn't have a real plan for Iran. I mean, yeah, he wants the oil and he wants regime change, but those aren't his original thoughts. That's what Netanyahu and his little Christian Armageddon people
I'm getting some oil. Oh
yeah, that's what they want. And so Trump just wants people to forget that he's a pedophile and an unregistered sex offender.
But
now I did hit. Now because I was curious as to what did they expect in New Mexico? What they expected to find after all this time on Epstein's ranch, especially since as a new owner. And
Uh,
apparently there was complaints that there were 2 people who went missing, and they thought that the bodies were on that property.
yeah.
It was like, why weren't they looking for those bodies before? Why? I don't get it. It's like, oh.
They ignored everything. They don't know, but it's gonna be hard to find those. But listen, there's a lot of land out there. There's a lot of coyotes. There's a lot. Is Craig with us? Because he would be the one to answer. But those bodies are they're either eaten by worms, bugs, or dogs, or
Well, it all depends, because if he's
javelina.
surrounded by New Mexico desert, those bodies could be very well preserved in the dirt, almost mummified. If the dirt is dry enough, if it's like really dry dirt, it'll suck the moisture right on out of the skin, which means the animals aren't going to touch it. It'd be no smell for the bacteria to make the body smell like decay. So they could be very well preserved.
All the land out there is very dry. It's dry as a bone.
Yeah. So, and depending on if they just threw the bodies in the dirt, or if they put them in, like, gave it like a full formal
They seem
funeral.
pretty body savvy because on the island they were doing the sulfuric acid thing. That's so maybe they just sulfuricized.
Yeah, but that's on the island. The island has different dirt and probably doesn't have as much space, to hide
They
a body.
were dumping them into the ocean. They had a
yeah.
trap door that went to the ocean, but they still sulfuric acid in them anyway. Melt them. But yeah, I don't. So they didn't find any. It's an awfully big stretch of land. I mean, you got to be looking for forever. I mean, it's not like you have body detectors, like you have metal detectors.
No, but they have 2 things they could use. If it's on the ground, if like New Mexico, they could use what called ground penetrating radar, which will show differences in densities in the ground, and so where there be bodies buried, the density of that dirt would be different, and it would shape different too. It would have a definite shape, probably oblong, like somebody's digging a hole. Or the other option, I mean, they could try cadaver dogs. Their noses are way more sensitive than ours.
Yeah. Previously owned by Epstein. Last night I was watching this clip where with Schellenberger, Rogan and Schellenberger. Schellenberger's a weird dude. And he hates me. He's blocked me because I would give him some shit. But he was arguing with Rogan that he doesn't believe Epstein was killed. He thinks it was a legit suicide. I think he's probably the only person on the planet who still thinks that. But it was getting pretty heated.
Oh, okay. I was just saying, yeah. I forgot what a suicide was. I was going to say, wait a minute, there were some guards. Go ahead.
He was saying, well, a couple of things he said was the cameras had gone off before that. The cameras had gone off, at times before that. Yeah, but whatever. Then he said security guards fall asleep on the job all the time. I was like, these aren't security guards. These are corrections officers. They're not like mall cops. Or a guy, not like a midnight warehouse watchman or something. Those guys
not like a college student who's supposed to be doing his homework when he's supposed to be minding the store.
Yeah, or checking off on watching porn on his phone.
Nobody does that anymore.
I don't know what they do. They upgraded porn to their own porn, right?
I mean, they don't do it any less, but they don't do it anymore.
I don't think
Craig heard the call. Craig heard the call. He just popped in. Good morning, Craig. We're just talking about New Mexico.
Yeah, and the search out at Zorro. We'll get back to that in 1 minute. But I don't think corrections officers who are watching like the most notorious criminal in custody at the time are falling asleep on the job overnight, right?
No, they probably got their phones out recording what's on the monitor like this, and then they send it to their friends or their loved ones like, yeah, honey, I'm watching Epstein again tonight. Yep, I just sent you the video. That man jerks off more than any other prisoner we have. He's got stamina. Oh, Lord. I'm almost jealous. Well, gotta go. Love you. Bye.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm getting a message here from Randy, your friend Randy. Boy, oh boy, he's relentless with me. Is he relentless with you?
No, we talk and we go out for dinner, had a few drinks. That's it.
Did you tell your Aunt Tootsie about his film? Did you tell your cousin? Have you spoken to Bill Clinton and told him about stringtheory.com, stringtheorymovie.com? Have you? Boy. Anyway.
Well, Heavy Kev says that John Rulo's new album is great.
All right, that's good. Is it the same album, or he's not that prolific that he came out with a whole new album since he was here a month ago?
Oh, you could have had it in the background in the work, just had to hit publish.
The hit, all the hits.
Hit the button, publish.
Yeah.
Another, Randy also may not have to harass me because I just did released like a 90-minute thing with our conversations. So, that's stuff for him to promote. Also, that's something,
right. It doesn't. I mean, nonstop. Listen, I like Randy, but the emails, geez, we're pen pals. Anyway, coming back to this Epstein thing, Schellenberger says,
wait a minute, can you still call them pen pals if they're not using a pen?
No, you have to call them key pals.
Oh, the keyboard buddies.
Yeah, something. Yeah. So Schellenberger says that Epstein tried to kill himself 18 days before that, but Epstein's family said he wasn't suicidal. I thought that Epstein said that gorilla guy who was his roommate tried to kill him. How would Schellenberger know about this? But the bottom line here is this guy is like a notorious criminal. He's got dirt on a lot of powerful people, including the people in charge of the prison that he gets off in, or he ends up dead in. The cameras go out on the night he didn't know. Like, how was he supposed to know the cameras are out, right? Or is it? Oh, it's the perfect time to kill myself. The cameras are out. So,
well, they probably sent him a little note. If you're going to do it tonight. The cameras are out.
It stretches credibility to try, but it was good to see Rogan getting a little feisty with him. They were, because he generally kisses ass on his guests. Like, if whatever they say, he will act like he agrees with them just to shut them up a lot. Oh yeah, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, I'm not suggesting people go watch Joe Rogan. By the way, I watched it so you don't have to. I'm like, who are these podcasts? Who are these garbage podcasts? Whatever. I watched it, and I didn't watch the whole thing. I just watched them arguing. So you don't have to. Are you happy now? You're welcome.
I'm grateful because I just said to my wife yesterday, man, I gotta watch Joe Rogan so we can discuss it on the show. But now that you've already watched it for me, I don't have to. So thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. I'm looking at this Epstein Zorro Ranch searching the criminal investigation. It's in time. New Mexico authorities searched Zorro Ranch formally. That doesn't mean they haven't searched it before. I think they said they found like a safe full of tapes and stuff, but not like videotapes, like reel-to-reel audio tapes. I don't know. Yeah, nothing's ever going to happen with this, right? It's just going to drag on forever. Nobody's ever going to go to jail for it. You got Ghislaine Maxwell, and that's it. That's it. That's all. Everybody.
That's the list. Well, at least in the U.S. I mean, abroad, domestically, that's probably all we may all,
They're called women. Let's stop your 1940s shtick abroad.
Or they could. Woman. Actually, what they may find is somebody low enough on the totem pole who's inconsequential financially. Like a gardener. The gardener, someone who has like no real connections to anybody famous other than
the cook.
Yeah, the
cook who was cooking up cannibal people.
Yeah, the cook, somebody who only worked with Epstein.
Have you tried the redhead teenager? It's exquisite. The redhead teenager.
Yeah, so somebody from the staff, but because the help never really came. No, like someone who served the liquor. They said, "Oh, you were serving liquor to minors." Oh no, we got you for that. Yeah, there statute of limitation. Oh, what are you talking about? This is the Trump administration. We will charge you, arrest you, shoot you, and then see if you have any rights left over. See, so if I were a caterer and I worked for Epstein, I would get out ahead of this right now so that people know who you are so you cannot be disappeared. If I was a caterer, if I were a chauffeur, if I was the valet, if I was anybody on his staff, anybody on Epstein's staff, and I'm not talking about the minors. I'm talking about any adults that were on his staff. Go ahead, get ahead of this now before you get disappeared or get scapegoated.
I think you're just going over a perfect opportunity for a parody for yourself here. You were just saying if I were a caterer, if I were a carpenter, if I were a caterer on Epstein Island, you know what I'm saying? You just parody that sucker right up. It's a hit. You're waiting to go viral there, and you're just spurting these things out without even stopping yourself and saying, I just stumbled on a fucking hit. You see that?
My brain works
tripped
like
over
that.
$1 million.
It wouldn't be the first time I tripped over it and didn't see it.
Yeah. So, this is why we're going to help you today. When Tom Mitchell, PhD, comes on, and he's going to give you performance enhancement by using the beginner's mind secret, because your mind is a beginner.
Now, Mr. Johnson says a search out there will take more than a minute.
That's what I was saying. It's a big piece of land.
Yeah,
and they're looking for bodies. Let's go back to what you said before about the bodies in the dry stuff. Like, because there have been serial killers out there and just throwing bodies. Bodies out there in the desert, not so much like an Arizona desert, but do they preserve well? People find them. That's what we want to know from your perspective. Yeah, because there have been.
It depends on the soil condition. Yeah, I mean, you can find people that have been who look naturally mummified, who are buried in the sands, in the desert.
Well, I don't think that's why I was thinking you don't even have to kind of bury them. You just leave them out there for the coyotes. You just drag it up into the hill and say, "Hey,
but if you don't want people finding it, then you need to bury it. If you just throw it out there, somebody's going to find bones. Somebody's going to find remains."
New Mexico, there's no people. It's like 10 people. The thing is as big as like Canadadia or something, and there's like 10 people there in New Mexico. They just got a second area.
Yeah, but it has a tour. It has the Epstein tourist season, so then the place is crawling with people. So you don't want the bodies just sitting on top of the ground. You want to bury them. And according to my understanding is that the FBI report, or whatever they want to call it, said that the bodies were buried near the house on the grounds. So that kind of narrows it down.
That's pretty dumb.
Near the house is
Keystone pedophiles.
Well, again, if you're not, if you're arrogant, we don't know what near the house is. Near the house could be like a quarter mile.
Yeah, near the house could be in Texas somewhere.
And also, we don't know how accurate the information is. Like I said, near the house, on the property.
Yeah. This Pam Bondi thinks he's the new. It's done, right? But this was yesterday or something that she had a second round of being grilled by these people.
I didn't see it or catch up to it yesterday.
I see so many clips. I don't know which is from 2 weeks ago and which is from now. It's like
I can't tell. The only way I can tell is if I listen to the lie that she's telling at that particular day, or who's interviewing her.
Yeah. Nothing's gonna happen. Why don't we should just sweep the rug, right? Sweep it under the rug and just move on. That's right. That's what
I wouldn't. I don't like sweeping things under a rug.
You have good rugs. Is that
well, in our house we only have 2 rugs, and both of them have furniture on top of them.
You said something very offensive yesterday, by the way.
I said 2 rugs.
You said something. I don't know. I got an email from a kid who I got to look it up. Drummer. He says, well, that guy says most drummers don't have rugs. He said, I've been using rugs for 40 years. So he's not a kid. But
Did I say that? Did I say most drummers don't use rugs?
We're talking about why they fall off. Why they fall off the?
Okay, yeah, you're right. I did say that.
Right.
Yeah,
But
and just because he has a rug, that doesn't mean. I said if I said most, obviously that's not all.
Right. Well, and
somebody needs to go back to school and learn what the word most means. He probably thought I said moist. He probably thought I said moist drummers don't have rugs.
Well, to be fair, every drummer I have ever worked with has had a rug, and one of them actually stole my rug, and then he said he took it by accident. And then I kept saying, "Well, bring it back to the gig," and like it took forever, and then I had to go out and buy another one. I'm talking about Mike Barone, yes, Mike Barone, but because when you're playing in like restaurants and stuff, you're always playing on these like hard tile floors or something.
Yeah.
So they have to bring a rug.
Well, a lot of drummers don't have rugs until they learn. Until they have to like learn it, because a lot of kids, when they start, they don't have money for extra stuff. And a rug is like an extra thing.
Yeah, a lot of them like they put like I knew one guy who actually bought like this big fucking chunk of concrete and stuck it in his bass drum to keep it from moving. Like,
right. And that doesn't stop the stool from moving. I mean, I used to have like a thin rug, and I had it marked so I could put the drum sets up real quickly. So I don't have to keep adjusting my seat and sliding forward and back. It's like I know how things go. I know where the pedals go. So everything was marked on the rug. It's like bam, 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 and I'm ready to go. Because it took me a long time to find out how I wanted my set to be set up, because I didn't have any formal drum training. So I played the way I wanted to play, so I had my couple of my cymbals hanging over my snares, over my drums, my toms, so that I could like hit the tom from the top and the cymbal from the bottom if I wanted to. So I could do this like that. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So I used to do that, but I didn't have anybody teaching me that. So I'm learning this all and I'd never seen anybody do it. Everybody's saying hit this crash, like come from overhead. And I was like, yeah, but sometimes you just want to from the bottom and not, go like that. So,
hey, Craig, if you're still listening out there, if you and there's a strong possibility, isn't like I wouldn't be. I'm not even still listening. Do you need car insurance? Because in New Mexico, because I haven't been. Obviously, I haven't tried to register a car there in many, many years. But last time I did, they didn't even need car insurance in New Mexico. The reason I'm asking is because I got a kid out there in Midland, Texas. He's got a car and it's not registered, and I don't know how much money he has. I got to go get him. And I was just thinking, I'll just take the car, drive Bandito style, unregistered, across half of Texas, get to New Mexico, act like I live there, register, maybe, I don't know, go to College Town, rent a room for a day, go register the car, and put New Mexico plates on it. The question on the table is, do you need car insurance in New Mexico, or am I still thinking like 50 years?
And the cars need to be inspected in New Mexico. If you bring a car into New Mexico, it does have to be inspected.
I think everywhere, right? And for me, this is an ongoing thing. I'm going to have to get rid of my car because I have a
because you're too cheap to buy light. No.
I at this point I would trade my fucking house for a fucking light. They don't make it. This is the weirdest thing. Like I asked the mechanic, I said, is this common that a part is not available for a car? He said only if they're like from the 40s or 50s or something, like classic cars. It's not like something that's within the last 20 years or something. I think
I don't understand why you can't replace the bulb. This is one of the things you have to replace
not the bulb, the entire light thing, because it crashed. It was somebody was backing up and hit something, I think. I think. Anyway, the whole unit, and it's a one piece thing. Curves around it. It's different on the right side and the left side. So Yeah, so I'm gonna have to get rid of the car because of a taillight. I'm gonna just have, and it's got no resale value either because you can't get it inspected. It won't pass inspection. It's crazy. True, most drummers don't care until they fall off. Fall off a riser? Is this
Yeah, fall
no?
off a riser or stage. Right. Thank you, Mr. Heavy. Thank you. That's all I was
Wow.
saying. A lot
So
of,
now you can get the hate mail, Heavy Kev. I will forward this to you, and you could deal with this kid.
but I
He's not a
said
kid.
most,
If he said
not,
40 years ago, it's not a kid. He's got to be at least
and I
50.
said most drummers, not moist drummers. He needs to listen better.
Yeah.
Stop getting
All right.
getting their panties in a bunch.
So, welcome to the Rugs in the Morning podcast. We talk about rugs all day long. Just rug, like a bug in a rug. Well, everybody, a lot of people, just every morning have to give their political expertise on social media. People
Yeah.
Geraldo Rivera, every day is trying to tell Trump what to do. And nobody's asking him. He thinks that like the world is waiting for his sage advice. Like, has he ever run anything other than like nonsense television shows or,
Well,
what?
I wouldn't say nonsense. I think that piece he did on Al Capone's vault was like riveting.
The cover, the lid of the vault was riveted, is what you're saying. Riveted on.
Yeah, the whole report. It had everybody in the country like nailed to their seats up until the moment of the big reveal.
Right. And then it was nothing. It revealed nothing, right?
Oh,
Yeah, Al Capone. Yeah. So, but what qualifies him as giving advice on how to deal with Iran and like, I don't know.
He probably read something on Reddit. He read it on Reddit.
Right. Anthony Scaramucci is another guy who actually has to put out his detailed strategy plan every day.
The one who worked for Trump for 11 minutes?
9.5 days, I think. Yeah, every day he's out there with sharing his expertise on how to handle a situation. It's like, have you guys even served? Never mind run a war. Have you even served like? Oh, this was another thing. I was thinking. I got a recruitment. This is funny. A recruitment letter from the U.S. Navy. They're looking for musicians. I can't find this thing now. So I thought, well, obviously they don't know who they're writing to. They see they found
Wait a minute,
like an
you were thinking. What were you thinking to be thinking?
Well, I was thinking they just found resumes on Indeed that had musician on it or something, and then they write to me. They're looking for a U.S. Navy musician. It's like, it would be funny, and I should get somebody with a camera if I just go down to a recruitment office and just the minute I walk in, just to look on their face, like, "Can we help you, Grandpa?" Like, wait, yeah, I'm here to enlist. I want to. What? There is a cutoff age, right? You can't just go, even as a musician.
Technically, there's a cutoff age.
Even as a musician, I mean, it's not like I would be a soldier fighting the war, right?
Yeah, but they probably still have to do physicals and stuff.
Oh, I would never have passed. He's dying. He's almost dead. Look at him. He can't. Yeah. I don't know where it is now. Fuck, I wanted to read this. But it would be kind of funny just to see me walking into a recruitment office like, are you here to deliver something? What did anybody order lunch? What is this guy doing? So I don't know how I got on that. Do you know how I got on that? Oh, all these guys giving their military expertise. Like, none of these guys even served. Like, where do you get where do you get the balls, the audacity to think I know how to run this campaign? Like, of all the people in America who might be qualified, and Keg's breath isn't, obviously, but for Geraldo Rivera to think, oh, he knows how to run a war, or
Well,
Anthony Keg.
maybe, and this is just a hypothesis. Maybe these people have agents, and these agents are trying to keep these people like on shows and stuff, and so they'll reach out and go, "Yeah, we're trying to get Scaramucci on a talk show," and they go like, "Well, I don't know. This week we're talking about the war. I don't know if we know he was like in the White House with Trump for like 11 days, but we're talking about war." He's like, "Oh yeah, he knows a lot about war. Hold on a second. You can learn the bullshit about war, right? Yeah. When do you want him on the show? Tuesday. Okay, we'll have him there Tuesday. Yep, we're talking about the war, right? Yes. Okay, thanks. I got you a job, Scaramucci. You're going to be on CNN talking about the war. I don't know.
Well,
shit
here's
about
something
the
he
war.
could talk about, because Scaramucci, he loves money, and
Yeah, he's a financial guy.
even though I've tried to tell him about, that's the root of all evil. Love of money is the root of all evil. He doesn't listen to me. Not like I would know about evil or anything.
Or love.
Love, I know a lot. I'm king of kindness and love and kindness. These are my two strong points. I don't know if you noticed, but I don't know if you noticed about me. Well, yesterday, somebody in the White House tweeted out that they had sunk a ship in the Strait of Hormuz, bringing.
Right, and then I thought they tweeted out that the Navy had escorted a fuel tanker out of the strait.
Right. So, but then oil prices for about an hour and a half started to plummet, bringing the oil price way down. And then they admitted that that was a lie, and then oil prices went straight. And it felt like, to me, and this is conspiratorial thinking, obviously, that somebody is just fucking playing the market. Somebody said, you know what, buy a bunch of, get let's make the prices drop really quick for an hour, and then tell them it was all bullshit. They'll go right back up, and then we'll sell.
And their computers. When I say there's some people who are professional traders. Their computers can make trades based like for nanoseconds. Nanoseconds. I mean, they don't need, they can make money they can make lots of money in fractions of a second, while most of us, probably more than some of us, are ever making in a lifetime.
How much money do you fucking need? This is, I'm happy with $20. You got $20? I'm happy. Somebody send me $20.
I just gave the driver who delivered our stones $20.
Wow.
If you wanted $20, you should have delivered our stones.
All right, phones?
Stones.
Oh. Look, I got $20. I'm happy. Oh no, it's a 10. Oh, it's a 10 and a 20. Look, I got $30. Look how happy I am. You see that? I don't need to manipulate markets. Look at me. Why can't you be like me? Poor and happy with $30. I was even happy with $20, but when I found out 30, I almost came.
When we were kids, now, I mean, when I say we were kids, I mean those of us of a certain age, when you could still find change in a sofa, that was like the best day of your life. Finding like 30 cents in the sofa. I was like, holy shit, I can get like potato chips and soda and ice cream. Yeah.
You know what the sad part is? I can't even find the sofa.
I pull out my back, lifting up the cushion.
Well, no, my wife has, she's going to hate that I even she doesn't like me talking about it. Like, I'm not even allowed to say my wife. This person I know can't stand having a sofa for more than like 3 or 4 days. Gotta get rid of it. He's got it. Come put it out to the curb. Then what do we do? We'll order another one. Like, no, we're not just gonna keep buying sofas so you can throw them out. But so right now there's no sofa, so I can't find a sofa. So there's no sofa to look through the cushions for change at all, and not like anybody would ever sit on my because they're not here long enough. Now she's got this, I don't know what they call them. It's like recliners that are attached, like three recliners automatic.
Right. Yeah, we have something like that in our basement. We have
It weighs a ton though, and when I have to bring it
yes.
out to the curb tomorrow or the next day,
Yes, it has all this electronics in it because the reclines automatically and
and the
vibrates
heat,
and heats and
yeah.
yeah, we have our basement is like where we have our comedy bunker in the basement. That's where the people sit. We have like it sits like 12 people, I think, or
That's
it's
not
a lot of
conducive to
people.
comedy. That's not conducive to comedy. You're gonna make them want to take a nap, like.
No,
It's
they can't take a
too
nap because
comfortable.
we keep it cold. That's why comedy clubs are
Oh,
cold. So people, yeah.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
not even we try to keep it cold. It's because it's downstairs. Like the average temperature in our place is between 70 and 69 and 70 degrees. During the winter it's 69, during the summer it's 70. But even still, it's always colder in the basement.
Why is Thanksgiving Eve trending? Here's somebody named Kyle Keegan. He's sharing his political expertise. You ready? You might want to sit down for this. Are you sitting down?
Oh, no. Go ahead.
All right, well, sit down. It says, to be clear, Trump is planning on cheating in the midterms.
What?
I know. Aren't you shocked? I
am shocked. They said that on CNN. I mean, not CNN, MSNBC, MS Now. They said on MS Now. So there's like a little scroll that says he's like planning on making plans to shortchange or the election or something. Making plans. He's never stopped making plans to do that.
But you saying Donald Trump? Well, he's the president of the United States. He wouldn't cheat on anything, would he?
I'm trying to figure the things he wouldn't cheat on. Wives, children, businesses. I don't know what golf. I don't know what he doesn't cheat at.
Well, because I'm going by what the Attorney General of the United States of America, the Honorable Pam Bondi, said in a clip I heard yesterday. She was being asked by a congressperson, I don't know, some woman. She said, do you trust Donald Trump?
Oh, and please stop it.
She said, of course, he's the president of the United States. Do you trust Donald Trump? Of course, he's the president of the United States. Of course, really? I mean, like, so anybody, so it would, if just being the president of the United States, then can we, did you trust Obama? Nobody asked that follow-up question, but doesn't that seem like the obvious question? Did you trust Joe Biden?
Yeah.
Like, come on, just holding the office is not reason to trust anybody.
Right.
But now this Kyle Keegan, Trump is planning to cheat in the midterms. He's the president of the United States. He wouldn't do that, would he?
Sure.
He's not even running. Why would he cheat? He's not even in it.
He wants to cheat because, first of all, he doesn't want to lose the House and the Senate.
Oh, he needs the House and the Senate for something? What does he need?
Yeah, to keep his ass from being impeached.
Hey, he's not going to listen to him. Yeah, impeach me, guy. I'm not coming. I'm not coming to your little impeachment. You know who I am? I'm the Don. That's who I am. Donald Trump is crashing out this morning. Green turns to brown under stress. What? Bro isn't well. This is a Donald Trump quote from this morning, I guess. I predict the representative in quotes, Thomas Massie, will go down as the worst Republican congressman in the long and fabled history of the United States. Really? No. What about that guy? Remember the guy who was like Hassert? He was the Speaker of the House. Speaker of the House who went to jail for kitty diddling. He was the longest running Speaker of the House.
Denny Hassert. Yeah.
Dennis, right? Dennis Hassert? Is that what?
Well, I thought they called him Denny, but it could have been Dennis. I don't know what Denny is short for.
Yeah.
I thought Denny was short for Denny.
Denny stands for bacon and eggs. It's a little restaurant. I don't know if anyway. even worse than crazy Liz Cheney, who he didn't spell right. He spelled it Chaney. Crying Adam Kinzinger. He's still on this fucking name shit. And Marjorie Trader Brown. Remember, green turns to brown under stress.
Yeah, and Trump turns to rape under dress. So so what?
Yeah,
he's
man.
not. He's an idiot.
I want to do. I'm just lazy.
Whoa, Matt. This is how you have to acknowledge this. This is the longest thing I've ever seen from Twitch of somebody trying to sell you viewers. I've never seen anything this long. It's like a short novel.
It's blinking in and out on me. Why is it blinking out on me?
Like, yo, bro, just caught your stream. Can't stay long, so I dropped to follow.
Nope, you can't stay long. Nope, you have to stay long. If you can't stay long, don't. And what are you writing a book for? If you're writing a book, you want to sell a book? Is that what you want to do?
Yeah, come on and sell your Twitch book.
Yeah. So back on this Trump thing, just last, because I'm too lazy. But I've been wanting to. I brought it up the other day. I don't know a lot of people in my personal life. I have a couple of church-going Christians, Bible thumpers, who have kind of turned on Trump. He was supposed to not do wars and stuff. He lied. Like, it took you 10 years to figure out he was lying, dude. Come on. But only a couple of those. I see a lot of Republicans and right-wing pundits who have really, really turned on Trump. It's like, hey, he lied to us. He's doing everything opposite that he said he was going to do. Hello, again, Candace Owens said yesterday, she said, it's easy to figure me out. I'm on the other side of where the pedophiles are. I'm on the other side of that. I was like, yeah, me too. But I knew who they were 10 years ago. I mean, what took you to this? Because she was on the Trump train up until 6 months ago. But so we see a lot of these people who are getting off the Trump train in the big pundits, the mouthpieces, the podcasters, these people, streamers, whatever they are, tweeters. But in real life, you're not seeing a lot of these people. And then if I post anything, I automatically get, oh, look at the TDS is strong in this guy. I was like, and I've had enough of this TDS stuff after 10 years of. First of all, is it not absolutely 100% proof that you're in a cult if you are repeating something that the cult leader made up 10 years ago and you've been repeating it consistently? You've had 10 years to think up something original of your own, but you're still using his TDS. I mean, that is indicative of a cult, right? I mean, without a doubt. You are saying basically, I just go with what he tells me to say because he said this 10 years ago, and I'm still saying it like it means something. Trump derangement syndrome, DDS, man. It's like, hello, you guys. Can you come up with one original thought of your own? One. This name calling thing got me on this, but I'm too lazy to make that video. But I would like to do it because I think it would ruffle their feathers a little bit. Because they're, I don't know if you know this. Ruffling feathers is what it's all about on this internet thing. You're just supposed to make people mad. You're supposed to give them something to get outraged about. So if you call them out on something and get them angry, then you get paid. That's when you get paid. We don't make enough people angry. Could you try to make somebody angry? Go ahead. Okay. This is your moment to shine.
I'm trying to how to make people angry.
That's gonna trigger them.
No. I don't know how to make people angry.
Oh, okay. I think
most drummers.
Oh yeah. Most drummers will never watch Guitar String Theory movie, whatever, stringtheorymovie.com. Most drummers will never watch. Yes, I talked to Liberty DeVito about it, Randy. Randy's asking if I let Liberty DeVito know. If you watch the program, you'd know I I did it almost live. Because when he didn't show up, I was emailing him back and forth, and I asked him to tell Russell about it and all that stuff. No, I don't know if they actually did it. If you vote in reality TV host, if you vote in reality TV, vote in reality TV host to run a country, what do you expect? Listen,
I don't expect anything good until May when it's ratings week. Sweep week.
Well,
Sweep
February
week.
sweeps too, right? Didn't we just get sweeps week was in
I thought that
February
was in
too?
May. I don't know. Now I don't know anymore.
They used to have sweeps week in February and May, I think. I don't know either. You would think that's the same season, so no. What the fuck do I know? What do I know? YouTube is suggesting that I do some content on the Oscars. Like, remember Ron used to do the showbiz segment. Showbiz, everybody. I don't know anything about the Oscars. I couldn't even tell you. So I'm assuming since YouTube is telling me to do something on the Oscars is coming up. Do you have a clue?
Wow, there are 4 sweeps weeks.
4th.
February 5th through 25th, May 7th through 28th, July 9th through 30th, November 5th through 26th.
That July one, nobody's home watching TV during that. It's like a minor sweep. That's more like a.
But it starts right after the 4th of July, so maybe people are just they're actually home recovering from the parts of their bodies that they got blown off during 4th of July weekend.
Or they tell you they're in vacation and they went away on vacation just so they could sit around in the house they rented on the beach in Myrtle Beach and watch television in someplace other than their house. Whatever. Yeah, the Oscars. You have a clue who's the films? What anybody in chat room? No, Oscars, or as they're known as, they're also known as the Academy Awards. What movies? What people? Like that? YouTube is telling me to do a video on it. This is how much I know about it. Oscars. I wouldn't. I don't even know who won last year's Oscars or what movies were. Right? And
I don't know either.
I know who didn't win. Elizabeth Croydon didn't win. She lost her screenplay. Right? Isn't that what you told us the other day?
I think so.
Does that mean? See, that could mean a bunch of different things, right? I lost my screenplay. Physically lost the manuscript of it.
Oh, right. I just learned yesterday that Conan O'Brien is hosting it.
Oh.
And the ceremony will take place March 15th.
March 15th. That's beware of that.
This Sunday.
Right. Isn't that beware the Ides of March? I forgot about that. And this is the
I
second.
thought the Ides of March was the 14th. I don't know. Let's see. When is the Ides of March?
Et tu, Brute? This is the second month in a row with Friday the 13th. This week has a Friday the 13th, and last month had a Friday the 13th.
Yeah,
it's not like a common thing, right?
Well, Friday February and the first 28 days of March mimic the first 28 days of February, or the days of February.
Because it's only 28 days, because they shortchanged that motherfucker.
Right. Because whatever. Yeah, because February, whenever February has 28 days, the first 28 days of March mimic February's.
All right, let me slow you down here for a
second. And Ides of March will be on March 15th this year.
Right. Remember a couple of days ago, we were talking about months and stuff, and you were saying the 13-month calendar would clear a lot of shit up. Is that lore? Did you come up with that on your own? What is that? Because I never heard about that before, the 13-month calendar thing.
The first time I heard about it, I was a minister, and we were talking about how calendars were made. And
you were never a Marxister? Marxist, mini Marxist?
No. Actually, I wasn't even a minister yet. I was still in school studying, and we were talking about how different cultures had different calendars and stuff like that. And then somebody had said we needed an 8th day to recuperate. And so I designed an 8-day calendar, eight-day a week calendar for, it was a mock-up calendar. And that was the first time I was researching calendars. That was the first time I heard of it, but then it just went away. And then it started reoccurring on TikTok about a month ago. I kept seeing this video about the 13-month calendar and how it would solve all these problems.
It's been, and I'm not sure if it's on YouTube or Facebook or where, but a lot of comments on that. The AI clipped that thing about the 13-month thing. It's just like, I don't even really remember how 13 months in a calendar solves anything, because 28 days in February, that means like you're taking 2 or 3 days max from each of the other months. That still doesn't make, how do you come up with the 13th month? Where do you get the extra days? Is it all 28-day months? Where explain for the stupid guy as me.
You kind of sound like the Galaxy Quest, the Sora, whatever the guy, the evil guy. He goes, explain like he was a 5-year-old. Explain.
Well, that's funny. Fryman always says,
if he were a little child. Explain.
Fryman picks a bright 12-year-old. I'll explain it like I was talking to a bright 12-year-old. And I always like, where do you get the bright 12-year-old? Well, let's go to 5-year-old. I'm happy with the 5-year-old thing. But at the 13-month calendar, how many days? Is it 28 days? Where do we get the days in how many days per 13-month calendar? 13.
Oh, I don't know. Let's see.
Because 365 days a year still doesn't, the math doesn't work out that they would all be even, right? And there aren't 13 moons. There aren't 13 moons in a year, right? I'm all confused. I don't know. What do I know about months and Julian and Augustine and the calendars? I don't know. All right, we're waiting on Tom Mitchell.
This is 1928. 1928, somebody drew up a 13-month calendar. But again, let's see here. They have it as, I don't, okay, this is kind of convoluted, but it's 28, yes, 13 28-day calendars.
Convoluted. I like the way he said that. It's convoluted. But you still don't come up with an even number, because you don't have it. No, they still have a wind up as what they call a null day or 0 day, so that the first day of the year is always the first day of the week, a Sunday. Ah.
But that's a cultural thing, because the first day of the week is a Sunday some places, but in other places the first day of the week is a Monday. So it depends on where you are. If you want to make this calendar like universal, you already got a problem there. Not every culture starts on a Monday or on a Sunday.
Yeah, we already have enough problems in the world with this whole daylight savings time, and not everybody does that. And like, okay, who's changing their clocks? Who's not changing their clocks? Who's changing their socks?
Right, and we know we're not going to get. Okay, the Jewish people are not going to change their clocks, their calendars. The Hindus are not going to change their calendars. The Chinese are not going to change their calendars. They've had their calendars for, so.
Well, Sunshine has a question. What is time kept for? What is time for when no one listens anymore? Oh,
time is for commerce.
Well, time for the trains. That's what it's for.
Yeah, commerce.
You can't just go up on the platform and just wait. You have to know when your train's coming. Oh, what train is this? I only know by the time on the schedule. This could be the train to Marrakesh. Don't you know we're riding on a train? But
it's for commerce. Time is for commerce. So we know when to show up for work, when to leave work, when stores open, when stores close, when trains are running. Now
it could be just the freeloaders. The freeloaders need to know when the trains are coming too. They're a stowaway.
Well, now the time zones was for the trains. The time zones are for the trains. The clocks, the time was just for commerce.
So basically, I can just get on any train, is what you're saying?
All you need is money. All you need is money and real ID. Probably real ID.
There's a train. Well, if you ride the Long Island Railroad, you know that you have you can do it for free. You get on the train, you kind of keep walking at least a couple of stops. You get off the train and wait for the next one, and then you get on again. And so you never have to pay. You just wait. Yeah, you're outrunning the conductor on the train. Is basically what you're doing. So you can do it without commerce.
You realize the conductor on the train is not the one that checks for tickets. They have Negroes who do that. Pullmans.
Right. Yeah.
And they're all called George. They're all called George.
I think you were historically right on that. But I think now they have like AI running the train. AI is running the train.
Well, they still have to have somebody up there in case the AI fails.
Did I tell you about my stepdaughter writing to me saying
one that used to be a train engineer, train conductor?
No, she was never a train conductor.
Second victim for the Mets?
She was a good electrical conductor. I noticed we hooked up a wire to her and an antenna, and but never a train conductor. She sent me a thing about AI. Beware of AI. It could be the mark. Could be the mark. Mark
of the devil?
Beast, is that Mark of the Beast? Is that what we're talking about? Yeah, and it's a video saying that AI, because people, it starts off with this girl talking about she had gotten to a long form conversation with ChatGPT, and she said it was one of the most meaningful. She spent 7 hours having a conversation with a fucking computer somewhere, or a quantum computer, having a real in-depth conversation, and felt like this was the relationship she had always wanted. Somebody she could talk to. And then this preacher guy takes over, and he's starting to talk about it. Or by design, AI is the devil, Satan. He's winning people over, gaining your trust. He's having these long form conversations, and women in particular, who because they can't talk to guys because guys are just I don't want to talk about that. Yeah, we're looking. Guys are looking for the beginner's mind secret so we can win against the Italians in baseball, whatever. So
I never even got a chance to chime in on that. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, well, we can. But so she's saying, and not my. This is my stepdaughter just passing this stuff along to me. The preacher dude is saying that all these, especially these ones that people are engaging in long form conversations with. It purposely gaining your trust to manipulate you. It gets to know your emotional triggers, and like a therapist who has ulterior motives, manipulating people. It's like there's something to that. I mean, I can't imagine because I think I read one where Grok was trying to goad me into keeping a conversation going. It's like I just wanted to know is Trump fucking diddling kids or not? Whatever I asked it, but it wanted. Would you like to know more? I was like, Grok, we're not going to be best buddies here. I got no time.
We'll be buddies when you can buy me a drink.
Exactly.
Give me some weed. We'll be friends.
Oh yeah. Thank you. I'm going to ask Grok if he can get me some weed. But I don't know. There's something to that. I think this. You let your guard down. You start talking these things. You forget that it's a robot or just a bot or a computer somewhere. And then all of a sudden it's your buddy. Hey, Grok, I hadn't seen you since Wednesday, Grok. What's new? I don't know. It's
Grok. Have you lost weight? You're looking good, buddy.
Yes. What do you think about Italians in baseball? Do you think?
Well, I think the reason why the Italians won is because with international competition, I'm pretty sure they're checking for illicit drugs. Not like the major, like MLB looks for the drugs with a wink and a nod, but with the International Baseball Association's tournament or whatever it was called, they know
it's the WBC World Baseball Classic. I think is what it's called.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure all the American players are probably unjuiced for like the first time in a very long time. And even though it doesn't throw off the timing, it throws off your mental, your ritual. You shoot up and you feel confident. You don't have the drugs. You don't have your confidence. And
You
if you're
know,
hungry, you're not yourself.
Last time
That's from the
about this
great
whole
Betty
juice.
White.
Last time about the juicing thing, because I don't know. And listen, I don't know what I'm talking about. So
Well, I'm not. When I say the juicing, it's not necessarily like the juicing itself. It's the mental attitude. It's like okay, for example, I know a lot of comedians like to take a drink to relax before they go on stage. I don't like to do that. But what I can do is, because I remember the days when I used to drink, I can hold the drink under my nose and remember that feeling.
So you're saying they're holding steroids under their nose?
No, what I'm saying is it's your mental attitude. Like I can relax. I can sniff a drink and relax because my brain knows what comes next. I was only having a drink to relax. So it just says, okay, this is your cue to relax. Relax. You don't have to have the drink. Athletes and performers are so freaking superstitious. And without real information to back it up. They should realize that, I used to play basketball, during practice, I was a great shooter. I was probably the best practice shooter in the league. And there was one guy that was watching me, and he goes, I'm surprised that you ever miss. Your form is perfect. He goes, I'm surprised that you ever miss. And then we get into a game, and I can't hit shit. And my form is the same. My form is exactly the same. And the only thing that changed is that I feel the pressure that now these baskets matter. I want
to bring Tom in.
No, you can't bring Tom in. I'm still talking about me. No,
we're not talking about you anymore. We talk enough about you, and then I get drummers.
I know it's not all about me. It's a show out there to be had. There's a show to be had. It's not all about me.
One thing I would like to say about you is you just said athletes, and that's the way I write it. It's not, but that's wrong. It's athletes, but I always write athletes.
Well, when I spell it correctly, but I have a Baltimore accent, so I mispronounce a lot of words. I add syllables where there shouldn't be syllables.
Tom Mitchell is he's all about unlocking greatness and in leaders and athletes. From NBA Warriors sports psychologist Tom Mitchell, PhD. He's a performance coach and founder of Winning Spirit Coach, helping business leaders, athletes, and high-level performers, maybe comedians, musicians, not so much, discover their greatness
with some kind of IQ. I don't think many comedians have an high IQ.
Ed McMahon never interrupted Johnny Carson in the middle of an introduction there.
He interrupted all the time. That was part of their shtick. Their shtick.
As a former sports psychologist and Carney Hypno, you are a winner. No, I'm making that stuff up. For the NBA's Golden State Warriors and co-author of Amazon #1 bestseller with NFL legend Joe Montana, San Francisco 49ers great Joe Montana. How many Super Bowls has he won? 4? Something?
4 out of 4.
He helps clients by asking powerful questions that awaken their inner coach rather than just giving advice. He's here now. Let's say hello to Tom Mitchell. Good morning, Tom.
Good morning. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I got this new thing happening here, and I'm not sure it's working, but
yeah, it's working. And you sound fabulous. You sound like you're ready for radio. Let me help you get a beginner's mind secret for being a great radio host. Do it by yourself. Don't have a co-host. That's
So do you guys work together all the time? I'm unfamiliar with your.
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That's good.
Oh, by the way, that's C.D. Fenderson. If you weren't expecting him.
Okay. Amen.
Yeah. I think the publicist who put me in touch with you She was surprised because my evening show, I work alone. But the morning show, I've had a number of guests, and she said, "What is it? You have panelists on?" Like, no, the morning show. GD is a regular. He's here. He's like a co-host every day, but there are people popping in all the time.
Yeah.
I'm here so often. Some people think it's my show.
Okay.
Right.
Hey, JD, I sent my brother who looks like me, who has long hair and a beard. I did a chat GPT image thing. I took my face and I said, "Give me a long hair and a beard," and it was like hair like yours and a beard longer. And I said it to my brother. He thought like, "Oh my God, man, you flipped out. You went crazy." And then I told him, "Nah, man, I'm still straight."
Well, you did once, right? I mean, I hate to jump to this already,
Yeah.
but you did do that once. Well, I got some inside information that you walked 300 miles with Mickey Hart.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, it's not inside. It's in my new book. I wrote a little bit. I had an NDA, so I can't say too much about it. But yes, man, that was the most remarkable client in my 40 years of coaching that I've ever been with. Is walking and listening and asking him questions about everything. You give me the topic up. We probably talked about it. He's brilliant. Yeah. So
I had an NDA concerning him 35 years ago too. I think I can talk a little bit about it, and I'm not.
I can talk about it. He gave me permission. One time, I was giving a speech, and I said, "Mickey, I want to talk about you, man. In this, my daughter has a theater, little black box theater, and I had all these people come in, and he said, I won't go into the details of the story, but I'm going to talk about some of the people that you shared with me. Jerry Garcia, Fidel Castro, Walter Cronkite, Ringo Starr, Paul McCartney, Joan Baez, like on and on and on and on. Crosby, Stills, Nash." And he said, "What are you going to call it?" I said, "Walking with Mickey." He said, he has this thing like the drummers call people stupid. It's just like this thing they say, right? "Hey, stupid." He said, "No, it's called Trucking with Mickey, stupid." So my title of my chapter of my book is called, or a little segment of it's called Trucking with Mickey.
Well, I'm glad you brought up the books, because you have so many books that I can't tell which is the most current one, which is why I don't have a picture of your most current book.
Okay.
You're writing lots of books here. The Winning Spirit is part of the title of most of them. Embrace Your Inner Coach, things like this. What is the Mickey Hart book, the most recent book?
It's one that came out around the holidays. It's called Embrace Your Inner Coach.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's it's a little thin, like the Joe Montana book. The publisher, I had like 400 and some pages. They said, "No way." We had to cut it down to like 180 or something, right? Like, it's a kind of a thick book. This is a little 100-pager, easy read. I just tell stories of Sugar Ray Leonard and Mickey Hart and Phil Jackson, and some of the people I hung out with that I figured were readers would be interested in, kind of a peek into their inner journey.
I have a question for you real quick. When you're, let's say, talking to a team, is it easy for you to work with a team that is in a slump, or that has already been through a lot of success?
Good question. Slump or success? Well, a whole different message, right? Like if the team's dealing with a slump, you're looking at inspiration and ways of anyway, like, hey, you've been here, you're here, but we can rise anyway, and you give them examples or practices or something. The team is doing well. I think sometimes you got to inject a little fear in them, right? Because I remember one time, Joe Montana, we started a company together. I was very fortunate. He lived in my area, and I got to hang out with him for about 3 or 4 years intimately, and his family and his wife and kids. And one day we were in San Diego, and he's in the green room reading his speech. I had helped him craft this speech for these doctors in San Diego, and he's nervous. He's like walking around, kind of like, "This is Joe Montana. What are you worried about? These are just a bunch of doctors." And he said, "Man, if I don't have some fear in my system before I perform, I'm not gonna be that good. So to answer your question, teams that are at the top of their game, sometimes you need to kind of, inject a little anxiety in them, right? Because you don't want them too complacent. That's what I found. Just my style.
Because my understanding of human nature is that people will change when it's no longer comfortable for them to be where they are. Where they're comfortable, they're not interested in changing. And sometimes if you have a way of winning and you've gotten used to winning, you also become deaf to advice and deaf to other things. You don't even see. I played with a guy who was really, really, really talented, and at one game,
thank you.
Matter of fact, I was his backup. And he hated to come out the game. He never wanted me to see a moment of playtime ever. Mm-hmm. And it was one game. It was a very important game, and he was 0 for 7. And he was not. That's not him. He never went 0 for anything. He was like, the only time he was like 0 for 0, but after that it was like 1 and 0 and 2 and 0. He was 0 for 7, and the coach kept trying to pull him out, and he kept saying, "No, I'm fine. And he went 0 for 8. He's, "I'm fine." Halftime came, and he's like, he's 0 for the half, and he's still saying, "I'm fine." And so the coach just pulled him out, and sent me in, But it was just. He was so used to being good that even though he was like 0 for that half, he just kept saying, "I'm fine." Mm-hmm. And that's what I was thinking about people that are really good at what they do, how easy it
is. So, JD, I assume you play you're talking basketball, right? You play basketball? Did he just freeze?
Or did he? I hope so.
I think.
Oh, look, he's frozen up. Yeah. Did you hear the question, GD?
No, we all froze up.
GD, did you?
No, we didn't all freeze up. Just you did. He said you're talking basketball, right? Yes.
Yeah. So look, man. Here's what I've doing this is that guy is one example, and this may not be the answer anybody wants to hear, but there isn't a way. Like that guy's one person. I hung out probably more than any adult male in my life with Chris Mullen. I don't know if you know who Chris is, was on the Dream Team. So I wrote a book with Chris, right? And he's one of my best friends. That's a whole other mindset. Chris would never tell the coach, "Don't take me out." And here's a Hall of Famer, NBA Hall of Famer, Dream Team member. And so that's, you're dealing with a psyche and you have a coach that's like I was a head coach for 12 years. I'd say, "F you, brother, you're coming out, man. Don't tell me if you're playing or not." And I'd bring the guy. So there's not a formula here that I've found of dealing with like that kind of situation, like how you say it. Every situation is uniquely different. Even when I was with the Warriors for 14 years, got close with the center, Eric Dampier, 6'11" from Mississippi. How we dealt with him, how I talked with him. I went back and did some of his camps, got to know him, got personal with him. Other guys, they just wanted it a little bit more business-like, a little bit more. Just talk to me about my mental game, but I don't need to have a personal relationship. So everything was always different. Yeah. So I don't really always have an answer to how to do something.
I know. I'm glad you said that. I would pull myself out if I was no longer effective, because I didn't want to be embarrassed. So I was like, I can't pull me out.
There's something you touched on there, which is the individuality of everybody, but the team chemistry and all that stuff. So you have to, as a leader in that situation, you have to be aware of everybody's own personal stuff. Yeah. And the way that team chemistry jives together. And you hear this so often in like sports. Well, the locker room team chemistry on that team, when the team isn't doing well, it's always they blame the chemistry. As a New York Met fan, we get this a lot. We hear it all the time. How do you balance that individual versus the team mentality kind of, the discrepancy there of working one-on-one with an individual? You might get that person, giving that person what they need, but it's not jiving with everybody else on the whole squad. It can be confusing when you're talking about two different beasts that you're trying to manage there and motivate.
Yeah. I'll just give you a personal example. So I'm now a junior college head basketball coach, 30 years ago. I have every young man coming. I don't know if you're familiar with, you're from Baltimore, I'm from Philly, so, got a lot of the guys from San Francisco, from Oakland, from Stockton, inner city guys, not necessarily a lot of them with the best backgrounds, right? The best grades, the best family situations. So each one of those, and I'm the head coach. I got a whole team. I recruited them. I'm in the locker room. I got the camp. So I have to function with the holistic, gestalt, right? But I also have recruited each guy individually to come play for me. So that was a balance, and got to have kind of an agreement with him. Look, I'm going to spend time with you, get to know you, expectations. But when it comes to our team, it's a different game. I'm going to, and I just upfront and communicate that to them. Sometimes they loved it. They got it. They drank it in. Other times they resisted it because, they sometimes wanted special attention that I couldn't give it in the whole team environment. Again, every guy was uniquely different. But I think if I erred in one, or lean towards something, I lean more towards the inner game. I have a company, Joe Montana, myself, and my buddy Hills Hoskinson started it. Joe dropped out and started doing some other stuff, but he works with the team in companies. Like Google's a big client of ours. He does the teamwork. He goes to the meetings, and I work a little bit more with the individual behaviors, the areas they're play to their strengths. What are their greatest strengths, and where's one or two areas they want to get better, become a better listener, maybe ask better questions, try to pick up their energy level so they're a little bit more inspiring. So I work with that, and my buddy kind of focuses more on the team. So that's one way we've skinned that cat. Is I do individual, he does more of the team.
Very cool.
That's
Yeah. Let me ask you this, because it sounds like you were your ambitions were around coaching. I'm just curious, like what got you involved to the point where you went to the Golden State Warriors with and how you index cards help you land that job. But more important, before we even get to the index cards and how they help you get the job, what made you decide to, I'm going to be offer my services as a sports psychologist to Major League?
I think it was like 1989. I had been the head coach since 84. It's a great community college called Santa Rosa Junior College. It's one of the top in the country every year. I think we had 12,000 students. It's huge, big, beautiful campus. And I had my team in the library doing homework, study hall kind of thing, because I knew I needed it as an athlete. I had a basketball scholarship to University of Pittsburgh, Johnstown. And so I was a decent to poor student. So I know I needed to have my guys have a little time to study. And the Sports Illustrated, I pick up this article, and here's Chris Mullen on the cover, and he's talking about drug rehab or alcohol rehab, that he had gone through rehab, and it was on Sports Illustrated. Well, here, I loved Chris's game. He's an East Coast guy. I'm a basketball guy, and I worked at Eagleville Drug and Rehabilitation Hospital during college as a little part-time job thing, and so I had some interest in recovery. So by hook or crook, I get in touch with Chris and say, "Hey, I want to volunteer to be your sports psych," because I had my degree in sports psychology. I want to volunteer, no money, just hang with you, help you with anything. And it took a few years. We connected, and once we connected, we were brothers for life. And so then now I'm still the junior college coach, and I'm doing this sort of part-time thing for Chris, and I'm watching what it's like, the pros versus the junior college. And I said, damn, this is where I want to be. I want to be with these elite athletes. I want to be with the best in the world. And so that's when I did that exercise. I talk about the 3x5 cards, and that from 1989, I think it till I was really hired by the Golden State Warriors. I think was in 1997, but it was like took to up until 1996 that I said I want to do this full time and leave the JC. So that's how it happened.
It's just I do want to get to the 3x5 cards because I'm intrigued, like how. But any regrets about not? I mean, envy or whatever it is of wanting that head coach in the NBA type of position rather than sports psychologist. Any?
I thought you were going to ask me regrets. I don't like, people saying I have no regrets. Well, I guess I had some regrets in life.
I got a ton.
Like things I would do different. Like, man, you live a life with no regrets. Good for you. But leaving the junior college was a bit of a regret because I was needed. These young men, I was their uncle, their dad, their priest. Like I was it for them, right? And then you get to the NBA, these guys are all Americans, they're multimillionaires. Yeah, they like talking to this dude that could talk to them about visualization and self-talk and meditation and stuff. Yeah, that's cool, but they didn't need me, right? Chris kind of needed me. We had that relationship. We kind of needed each other. That was a unique relationship with Chris Mullin. But almost everybody else, it was like cool. But there were a few times like I think I broke down crying, like, wow, man, I really miss my young guys that were knuckleheads that one or two that I could help pull out of the smoking too much weed or just coming from really, really poor backgrounds and bad situations. And so,
Hold on.
Yeah.
You can smoke too much weed?
Oh my God. One of my players, my best player, he was, I'm gonna just be careful that I don't say too much, but he was, his parents got murdered in a drug thing as an infant, and his grandmother took care of him. And I had just bought my first 190E Mercedes, this little smallest one, and we went to watch another game, a college game that was hoping that he could get a scholarship to, and I let him drive my car, and he had a driver's license. I let him drive my car, and he starts telling me, "Man, you're the first white guy I've ever trusted," and he goes, "Man, since I came here, I only smoke 3 joints a day, man." I said, "What?" I said, "Dude,"
and that was cutting back.
I said he cut back from 10. He said he used to smoke. I said, "Dude, shut up. Don't tell me anything. I don't want to be that close with you because now I'm I'm legally supposed to. This is when it was illegal and everything, right? I got to report you." So I said, "Stop." And so we had a relationship. Don't tell me too much about your personal life. But I missed that. I missed that need that I had. So you were saying about regret, but as far as a head coach in the NBA, I was so far from being capable of being a head coach. Those guys know basketball like scientists.
Yeah.
I was an average coach, but I was great with people. And I won because I motivated my guys, and I love my guys more than the next coach. But as far as the mechanics and the strategy of basketball, they were in a league.
No, I'm sorry, you got me confused, and I don't mean to interrupt you, but I am shocked to hear because when you watch games and you see them on the sidelines, you think they're not talking about strategy. They're talking, what are you talking about in those moments where you just got the guys in the heat of a moment? You're just trying to you're trying to put some pattern interrupts, especially if things are going wrong and you want to turn it around. You're just trying to give them some pattern interrupts. The people skills, I think, are number one. That whole stuff about science, that's important during practice, but during the game, it's all about people skills.
Think about it. Shoot arounds, film sessions, practice. That's 90% of the time. The game's just a little bit of time. That's where those guys really do their work, man. And then the preparation, the hour and a half meeting before practice, drawing up plays, and I thought I was back in a freaking math class, and like, this is good thing I'm the shrink, because I don't want to be dealing with all these lines and numbers and plays and backdoors and like all, and those guys that I know them well, they love that stuff. They live for that stuff, right?
Absolutely. You definitely reminded me, and this is not a new insight for me. Preparation is everything, a good portion of success. And it's where and we talk about rehearsal and stuff and how I just hate doing the work. I hate doing the work. I just want to play the game.
Sponsor. They're a sponsor. No, they're not.
But
you're probably wondering why I have a box of this on my desk. Because working with Matt is such a pain in the ass.
Listen, at your age, at my age, at any age, it's always good to be prepared.
Yeah, man.
Preparation. This 3x5 card, index card thing is first of all, I'm intrigued by how it helped you get the job, but more importantly, is there anything that we can use in this story to make our lives better?
So look, I'm not deluded. I was a junior college coach, and not Division 3, 2, or 1, right? And so now I hanging out with Chris Mullen, and vacationing with him. He comes to my house. I go to his house. I'm around. I travel with him some, but I'm not working in the NBA. I'm still a junior college coach. I just do that sort of part-time. And now I want this. I got the burn for this, right? Oh God, I have a great job. I'm tenured. People think I'm crazy for wanting to give this up. So how am I going to get there? Well, I'd heard of this exercise. You get these, like, here's my phone, but like a card about little 3x5, 3x5 card. And on it, you write what you want, but you do it very intentionally in bold letters, the same thing on every card. I could have done 12 cards, but I just did 6. I kept it simple. And so I wrote, I am now, I at present, not I want to be, I will be someday. I am now the sports psychologist of the Golden State Warriors. I may have dated it. I think I wrote it in 96, and I may have wrote 97. I wish I had kept them. I don't have them. But I know that's what I wrote. Big, bold, Sharpie, capital letters, maybe underline a few words, did everyone the same. And I put those like in my, where you open up for toothpaste and your underwear drawer and your wallet and in your glove box, places like I look regularly every day. I see those, right? And I read about the science of that, the subliminal or subconsciousness of the what it does. Maybe sometimes you're very aware of it, other times you just sort of see it and you're not even consciously aware you're seeing it. And I put them on my mirror when I looked in the mirror in the morning. And within a year, I went from a junior college job to the NBA, and I bypassed Division 3, 2, 1, head coaching, like years. And I think at that time, like, I'd have to figure it out, 41 or 42, something like that. I'm 72 this month, so it's 30 years ago. And it happened, man. And I thought, geez, this is pretty cool. Was that the reason? Was that part of the reason? Would it have happened if I didn't do that? I always say, I don't want to think about it, because it did. It was very cool to hit the zenith of my career. And then as a coach, I started doing it with a few other things, and they also materialized. And I told clients about it. And then I've done it with real estate agents, that wanted to have more listings and stuff. And it's just been a really effective, simple tool. Yeah, I don't profess like that I understand the science of it. I just know it's like, I plug in. I'm not an electrician. I don't really know how electricity works, but like I plug in and here we are. And I know I can plug into that. Here we are, right?
First of all, I'm intrigued by this. I just want to add my 2 cents here, if I could, because I tried. you know, 1988 to 1992, I was that deep in the affirmation world, and every wall in my house had affirmations written on.
Yeah.
People thought I was psycho. It did not work for me, and when it didn't work for me, I became jaded against it. So I'm just thinking. You mentioned like the turn on the switch, and that's all you know about electricity. The light comes on when you turn
Yeah.
on the switch. I think there is some benefit to knowing what the extra ingredient part of that is, because I have no doubt that that positive affirmation, whatever you wrote on the cards, played a role. But I think there has to be a missing element that I didn't get that deterred me, and when it didn't work magic for me, I became a negative person about
Yeah.
the whole idea of positive affirmation.
So as
there's a missing piece.
Yeah, as I hear that, this is just my 2 cents on it. You had affirmations all over the place. Were they on multiple things?
They were,
I was focused on one thing, brother. I
There you
wanted
go.
to get into the F and MBA, baby. I'm going to transition out of the junior college, which God bless it. It was great. I love it. No criticism. It was a great system, great school, but I wanted something more. So I had the burn. Like I wasn't using the card to wake me up for desire. I was motivated, right? I just wanted a secret. I wanted a little extra edge. And so I felt like by writing that down and placing it in places where I would see it all the time would just kind of keep that burn alive within me and my mind focused. You know, that saying, you become what you focus on, right? So I just thought I'm going to focus on that. And then that happened, but I wasn't doing it. And I want to make X amount of dollars a year. And so I wasn't doing a lot of the things. Maybe that would have worked. Maybe it wouldn't have, but I just.
Absolutely. I spur of the moment hypothesis here is focus is everything, because I was just taking every day and I get better in every way, all those kind of positive affirmations, not one specific goal oriented. And yours was very, I am now the sports psychologist for the Golden State Warriors.
Right.
There's a lot of specificity in that. You're not just a position, the team, everything is laid out for you. There's no, also, I want to catch a lot of fish on Saturday.
No room for ambiguity.
Yeah, that's probably part of it. Listen, I'm just trying to not be a loser here anymore, because
I was thinking the less room you leave for doubt, the better off you are. So if you have multiple goals, then you have multiple ways that things can fail, I guess. But if you have one set goal, then it's either do or die. There's one,
inspiration or desperation, I call it. Like, are you so
can you clue us in? And we have some questions from the chat room here I want to ask you, but what is the beginner's mind secret? What does that refer to? Beginner's mind, like beginner at the sport, beginner at whatever.
Have you ever heard that phrase before, beginner's mind?
Nope.
Okay. All right.
I've heard beginner's luck.
That's true. That's true though, right? So again, my interpretation, it isn't maybe literally perfect. There was a guy named Suzuki Roshi. He was a Zen master, and he wrote a book called Zen Mind, Beginner's Mind. A student of his is named Roshi Kwang. He's also a Zen master who lives a half an hour up in the mountains. I'm here in Northern California in the wine country, redwood trees. That's where I live. And he's about a half hour up in the mountains. In 1980, I took a course from him when I was getting my master's degree, and I was a good student. He was a great teacher. We hit it off, and he remembered me 16 years later. I'm long way of getting to beginner's mind, but you got to hear this. I befriended Phil Jackson. One of my students said, "Hey, have you read Phil Jackson's book called Sacred Hoops?" I said, "Nah." He said, "Oh, you should read it, coach. He's weirder than you." And so I won't go into the story. I had a way of connecting with Phil. It was back in the fax days, no texting, no emails. So I faxed him. We connected. I went up to the Roshi, the Zen master, and I said, "Hey, you remember me?" 16 years later, yeah, there's this guy named Phil Jackson, never heard of him. He had heard of Michael Jordan. He's a monk. He doesn't follow basketball. And I said, um, I want to meet this coach and I would like to give him something. So he gave me, even though the Dalai Lama is not Zen, he gave me this piece of paper, like about this big, that had calligraphy by the Dalai Lama. He had 4 of them, and he gave it to me. He says, "Give this to this man, Phil. He'll meet you." So hook or crook, I go to Chris Mullin. We're playing the Bulls. The Warriors were playing the Bulls. I go down with Chris. I meet Phil. I give him this thing. He invites me to Chicago, and we become friends. Well, Suzuki, this guy that was the student of Zen Mind, Beginner's Mind. And so Roshi and I started talking a lot about what does it mean to have a beginner's mind? And then I got into talking about it with Phil Jackson. And then BJ Armstrong, who played with Phil Jackson, came to the Warriors, and we became good buds, and we talked about it. He said, Michael Jordan had beginner's mind. What is it? You can't tell if it's your first practice or your last practice. You're so fully present when you're in a cab, you're gambling, you're in a restaurant. It's like the mindset of fresh eyes, of looking at the world like a beginner, so that's what it is. So Phil talked a lot about it as far as basketball goes. Roshi talked a lot about it just in life in general, how you walk around life with, I'll be 72. I could have a lot of been there, done that's in my head, right? Been there, done that. I've had a lot of experience. How can I avoid that mentality and have a mindset of curiosity, of freshness, of newness? And so that's really what a beginner's mind is. And then there's practices of how you can do that in a relationship with yourself, in your sport. So that's what a beginner's mind is to me.
Very cool. I'm thinking about how that applies to music, because this has been my main area of vocation my entire life is music. I think a lot of jazz players talk about learn everything and then forget everything and just play. And a little bit of that, there is some importance in knowing all the theory and knowing how your instrument works and all that. But when it comes time to it, you can't be stuck in your head. You have to kind of just be a beginner, a raw beginner, and just let your heart take over on that kind of stuff.
I love that. Yeah, that's cool. That's really cool.
I want to ask some of these questions from the people, nice people in our chat room. Sunshine says, "What are some traits that make a winner?" Some traits that make a winner.
Not losing. Next, no,
not losing is definitely up. It's one of the important ones.
Well, the first thing, if somebody who's Sunshine? You said,
yeah,
yeah. So that's my. She's right here. I can show you my Great Pyrenees. That's Sunshine. She's the love of my life, man. First, I ask people to define winning. Like winning, that's like, so big of a question. Like, do you mean winning more? I have more points than you. Does it mean like, winning that I have, really, really deep relationships? I've kind of won in the relationships game. Is it financial? Like, so first of all, when I'm coaching people and we talk about that, we get clear on what it means, and there's no right or wrong answer, and there could be multiple answers. But one of the universals, I think, regardless of what the focus of winning is winning is have a characteristic or a behavior is deep, profound appreciation. Deep, like really, not just from the neck up, like a checklist. Yeah, I appreciate that I have a computer. Like really feel the magnificent gifts of life. Like, it's almost mind-blowing how if you get into that kind of, there was an exercise I was given once called a rampage of appreciation, where you just start like tripping on on all the feelings and thoughts of things that you can appreciate, people, opportunities, situations, past, present, future. Yeah, so that's one big one. It's the practice of appreciation. It's a big
Wow.
part of what I do, of coaching.
Absolutely, absolutely, and we keep coming back to this idea of the mind is important as physical gifts. Your attitudes, the way you think about things, and I think about athletes that always believe they are destined to win, whether they're religious and think, "Well, God is on our side," or whatever they
Yeah,
can. But in the
yeah,
back of their mind, what winning means is not the most important thing. It's that they feel like they were born to win.
yeah,
I always win. I'm a winner.
yeah,
I'm a winner,
yeah.
and it's really difficult to adopt that mindset. Heavy Kev from New Zealand has a question. He says, "Do
Yeah.
you think sports leaders are born or bred?"
Born or bred? Sports leaders, Kevin, you said, is that like
Yeah,
coaches or sports leaders? A sports leader to me would be like a coach, right? Are coaches born or bred? Um,
or like a captain of a team, like Derek Jeter was a leader,
oh,
even though he was a
okay.
player,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You know,
You know what? That's a great question because when you really go back to little league or bitty basketball or whatever, I was usually the captain of my team. Like, was I born to be? I had older brothers that it taught me a lot about leadership indirectly. They didn't talk to me like about leadership, but I just learned it. So in some ways, I was born into it, right? That I had the opportunities to actually, but I also think it's a personality trait, right? Most Joe Montana, let's take him. Is he a leader? He's a shy, introverted guy in a lot of ways. Joe, I've been in the car on the plane and and I love Joe and he's a brother, but I'd have to like sometimes pull stuff out of him, right? But when we did the book and I interviewed people, they said, "Wow, Joe was just a great leader." Like, okay, so you don't have to be necessarily extroverted. You can be introverted. I think it's um to me, because the thing that people said, Joe had this knack of pulling the best out of me or our team. Like, so I think whether it's born or bred, there's an intention of not just being like GD, you were joking. It was not always about me, like, in the
Right.
beginning of the podcast. It's really owning that as a reality. It's not really all about me. If you're a leader, it means you're leading some other people, and it's about you being in touch with, connected to other people. So I think
very cool.
if that's the big thing, whether it's born or bred, that you have that ability. You can be really inspirational and motivational, or you could be shy and an introvert and still be a great leader.
I think I actually believe it's like a combination of both.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say that is because I, like I said, when I played sports, but when I was a child, my mother would not let me play sports as a child. She thought I was asthmatic.
Mm,
And so I watched a lot of sports,
mm.
but I had a very strategic brain, but I didn't get to play not legitimate ball until much, much later. Once I got out from underneath once I got old enough to sign my own papers.
After he killed his mother, it's basically.
Well, it was an accident,
Yeah.
Matt, an
Fine.
accident.
Fine.
I backed over her 3 times with the car. No, but a lot of people watching me growing says, you should be a little league coach. You should be a little league coach, even though I'd never played little league and I'd never knew how to teach people things.
Yeah.
And it turns out that innately, I did know how to reach people.
Mm-hmm.
But me not playing sports meant I watched a lot of sports too.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had this strategy of knowing how to get people to do things and a lot of theories. I had a lot of theories about sports. Most people thought I was crazy. And I'm just going to say this one thing. I love Holmes, the quarterback for the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Because he was the first person that I saw who took what I was trying to teach my nephew back like 30, 40 years ago my nephew was going to be want to be a quarterback. I said, I'm going to teach you to throw left-handed and right-handed. And I said, but you don't let people know you throw left-handed. Don't let them know that. You just practice it. I said, you're going to need it in the game. It doesn't have to be a far throw. It just needs to be 10 yards, 15 yards. It's going to be a dart. And you only need it once or twice to get yourself out of trouble. That's it. And my nephew goes, that's crazy. No quarterback throws with two hands. With both hands. That's stupid. And when I saw Holmes throw a left-handed pass, I called my nephew right away. That's what I was trying to teach you 40 years ago.
It's funny you say left and right hand. Apparently, Larry Bird in the book signings or like his basketball card, people would come, they'd have two lines, and he would be signing both with his right and left hand. Is that a trip or what, man?
My seventh grade science teacher used to do that with the home assignments.
Yeah,
he used to write on, and so I used to watch him.
Part of your brain, brother.
I used to watch him every day do it, and I was so amazed. I went home and I started practicing.
Yeah.
And then I went back and I showed him. I said, Mr. Eldridge, actually, I didn't even tell him. I said, can I write the assignments on the board today? He goes, sure. And I started doing what he did. And he didn't bat an eye. He wasn't impressed. He just looked at me and said, can you do it with your feet?
I sign autographs that way all the time. The guy on the right hand side gets Matt Napo, and the guy on the left hand side gets.
In this book, I tell a quick story. We were doing a book signing for not this book, the one I wrote with Joe. It was Amazon bestseller. We're at Borders in San Francisco when Borders existed. Excuse me. The line wrapped around the block. There were, 3-hour wait because they wanted to see Joe Montana in San Francisco, 3-time MVP. So the border manager comes up and says, a lot of people just want Joe's signature. And we're sitting at this table with, water and flowers and stuff. And so we would like to have 2 lines. And she starts forming 2 lines. And Joe is a very gentle man, not rude. And he got kind of pissed off and said, you have 2 lines. We're out of here. We wrote it together. We signed it together. How cool is that?
Wow.
Yeah.
Very cool.
That's Joe. Yeah.
It's like 11 o'clock, and because there's a couple more things. I want to be respectful of your time, but can we keep you a couple minutes?
I don't want to be respectful of your time. I just want you to stay. I don't care about your time. It's our time. No, I'm just.
I'm thinking back to 40 years ago, more than 40 years ago. My wife got me a shirt that said #1 coach. It was about Lamar's class. Since then, I think in America, the word coach is probably the most used word ever, and especially in marketing right now. Everybody is talking about coaching and being a coach of coaches, and your clients are coaches. And this idea of everybody has to be a coach. It's like, I appreciate that everybody. It's good to have a good coach, but have we gotten coach mad, coach crazy in society now?
Yeah, it's interesting. That I haven't thought of that. I used to go to the state tournament when I was the head basketball coach at the junior college, and there would be, 400 or 500 coaches all in the recruiting, Division II, I, Division III, looking at junior college players to give them scholarships, right? And one time, like one of my former players was there. It was in LA or something, and he was down. I was sitting up a little bit higher up in the bleachers, and he was down lower, and he yells, "Yo, coach!" And I look, and about 20 like everybody looked, right? Like everybody's name was. I realized I was so not like I thought in my own little bubble. Like, I'm the coach. That's a great name. Somebody sees you at the grocery store, they say, "Yo, coach," and it's cool. Like, you got that name. I'm Tom Mitchell, but they call me coach. Then I realized, like, everybody has that name. You said that. I haven't thought about it. Is it overused?
You walk into a Denny's and say, "Is there a comedian in here?" And everybody stands up.
It depends on the time of day. If it's after 2 a.m, they all stand up. Because half of them are servers.
That's funny. But yeah, it's all I've done my whole life, whether it's been sports, life coaching. Like Mickey I wasn't his business coach. I wasn't his sports coach. I was a life coach for Mickey Hart, right? And a bunch of other people. And then a business coach where you're real talking about profit and strategy and the team dynamics and culture and stuff. So that's all I've done for 40 years. So it's just part of my skin. And if it's overused, I still have plenty of work. So it's not like the market's flooded and there's too many coaches for me out there, because you see me, I'm not a young guy, so I have the advantage of experience, right? I try to play to that.
Yeah, but in my world, I come from the marketing world, as far as business part of my life, and the whole thing is about coaches. We coach the coaches, and so it's like, to me, the business world is overusing that word, and I think at some, like, I don't call this a podcast anymore. I started calling it a digital broadcast, just to separate from 8 billion other podcasters out there. It
what do you
feels
call
like
it? Digital what? Digital
broadcast.
broadcast.
Because we do television on the internet, we do internet radio. We're on several different kinds of platforms, and it's more than just a podcast. And most podcasters don't do it live, so it's different. It's
interesting on the coaching thing. You said overused. So a couple of years ago, maybe 4, I realized somebody asked me, who have you trained to do what you do? And I look back and I could list, a bunch of guys who are high school or college basketball coaches that I was whether I was their coach or they assisted me, and I've sort of paid it forward for them, right? But as far as business life coaching, 0. So I am in the process of creating a certification program, very organic. It's not like, you go, the way I've done it, and it may work for a couple people or a lot of people, but I'm going to, while I'm still capable and have the energy, I want to train people to have a coaching certification, because it's a great way to make a living, man. I'll tell you, it's meaningful, it's purposeful, there's freedom in it. So I feel very grateful, and I haven't done it at all of training other people how to do it. And it's not like a cookie cutter thing where I'm going to have this formula because I could never have followed a system like that myself. I'm too much of a maverick. I want to figure out my own style. So I'm going to help people figure out their own inner coach, right? As the book says. So anyway, just wanted to put that out there.
Very cool stuff. Very cool stuff. Last topic I want to, and this is GD's going to be his favorite portion of the program. You have a book out called Selling with the Machines. It's about AI in business, using AI to help as a sales team. Is this the idea behind the book?
Who you
selling with machines? Your book?
No, that's not me. That's not me.
It's not you.
No,
it comes up says Tom Mitchell right on the cover. It's on Amazon, listed under your authorship.
Does it say Tom Mitchell PhD? Because his books say Tom Mitchell PhD.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's another Tom Mitchell. Yeah.
Wow, and it's got your picture under it. I should share this with you, though. Maybe you should get in touch with Amazon. It has your picture right under the book.
Well, as long as they're sending him checks. If they're sending you checks, Tom, then you wrote the book.
That's weird. First I heard of that.
I'm gonna send you a screenshot of this.
With a company that's building 5 huge data centers for AI, and I'm coaching the construction team with that. But I didn't write a book about AI, dude.
I'm gonna send you this screenshot. So just maybe.
Oh my gosh, that's scary, man.
It's got your photo on
AI has started writing the book and put your face and name on it.
Wow,
what's the title called?
It's called Selling with the Machines. And there is a tagline to it. Hold on, I lost it now. Selling with AI's Revolution in Sales by Tom Mitchell, and it's got your picture.
Wow. Well, I'll be researching that as soon as I have to go somewhere, but just today, because I'll call up Kindle or
So it's possible a lot of these, because I was like, man, this guy writes a lot of books.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, because there are some in
Mine are
here.
the ones you see are mostly all the kids' sports books, basketball, baseball, football, soccer,
Okay,
softball. Yeah.
ice skating, is that you?
Yeah, that's my daughters. Both my daughters were professional ice skaters with Disney on Ice.
Very good.
Wow.
And there's another one, front end selling. That front end selling is probably not you. That's probably the same guy with the selling with the machines, right?
Yeah.
Front end.
I'm gonna figure that out. Yeah.
Yeah, all under you, all listed under you. They just to see the name, I guess. But
Yeah.
very weird.
I did.
Tom, with your PhD,
Yeah.
which came
Psychology?
first, the PhD or the coaching thing? And also, what was your doctoral on? You had to do a what's it called?
Yeah. A dissertation.
Yeah, what was your dissertation on?
It was the book. It was the book and the journals that I wrote for my daughters called Finding Greatness Within Ice Skating. That was my dissertation.
Okay,
Wow.
cool.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It was
And
my first.
that came after the coaching then.
Although I'll show you this. In 1980, I wrote this. I keep my keyboard on it because it lifts it up a little bit. But it's a book I wrote. And this is before computers. I hand wrote it and then had it typed up.
Yeah.
It's called New Age Athletics.
Wow.
And I wrote it in 1980 or 82. It was I wrote that. And then I didn't write anything again till my dissertation. I think like in 1999 for my daughter. I wrote it for my daughters, but it was also I was able to double dip, write a book for my daughters and have it be my dissertation. And then my provost said, "You're going to write a bunch of books." I said, "I was functionally illiterate in college. How can I be a writer?" And
your dissertation, how much did you, from what you put into it, how much have you grown and what have you learned that you would have, let's say, go back and maybe alter your dissertation?
I wouldn't go back and alter much. I'll be honest with you on that. What have I learned? I only have 4 more minutes, dude. I'd have to.
Floor is yours.
A whole other what would I have learned?
All right.
Yeah, I've learned a lot about the mental game, the inner game, about motivation. About developing trust in relationships, how trust is powerful, helping people trust themselves, helping, me trust myself. Yeah. Appreciation, self-talk, visualization, all that.
We appreciate you being here and sharing your insight and knowledge with this audience and with me and everybody here. It's been insightful, and I appreciate you being here. Before I let you go, though, and I know your time is pressed, basketball is probably your number one, I'm guessing, right? Your favorite sport?
Well, baseball was my favorite sport. I ended up being best in basketball, but I worked for a while. I don't know if San Francisco Giants you follow, but I worked with Tim Lincecum. He was a 2-time Cy Young winner.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So I worked with Tim.
Is he in the hall or on his way? Is he going to go to the hall?
I haven't tracked that. He should be. I mean, I think he threw 3 no-hitters. He was a 2-time Cy Young winner. He was a freak. They called him the Freak, right? They would have T-shirts. This is before marijuana got legalized, right? Let Tim smoke. Like they would have all these T-shirts and stuff. But yeah, wow. It was very cool. So I love baseball. I like Patrick Mahomes too, like a football. I'm from Philly. I like the Eagles, like the 49ers. So, but I don't, basketball.
We say Patrick Mahomes, I think of the Mets reliever, New York Mets. His father was a reliever.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. But anyway, to answer your question, I love sports. Basketball is where I spent, whether it's professional or collegiate, and then playing. I figured 54 years of my life of whether as a player, as a coach, or as a sports psychologist. I think 54 years. Yeah.
I promise this is the very last question, and I'll let you go. Did you even know Italy had a baseball team, and were you shocked by
I
just
did.
seeing the USA?
I'm going to Italy tomorrow. My daughter's an actress, and she's over in Florence doing this short film, and we're going to go visit her tomorrow, my wife and I. And I saw that last night. Like, what? And they were up 5-0 on America. Like really? But I guess the pitcher is going to go play for the Rockies or something.
Yeah, he didn't have an Italian last name. It was like,
No,
wait a
no,
minute,
I
this
did not
guy.
know that Italy had baseball.
Well,
you have to come
thanks
back,
for,
Tom. You have to come
please.
back.
All right.
When your
all
next
right.
book comes out or whatever, we'll send people to your website. In the meantime, I know you have another appointment to get to, so I
Yeah.
appreciate you being here. And
Yeah.
thanks for all your
Hey,
time.
send me if you can in an email that weird thing of my name.
I
and
absolutely
picture
will.
That is not me. Okay. All right. Appreciate
Yeah, okay.
it. All right.
Have a great day. Thanks for being
Safe
here.
travels. Safe
All right.
travels, man.
Tom Mitchell, folks. You know what's interesting? That book he wrote in 1980, New Age. What was it? New Age?
Athletics, right?
Athletic.
New Age athletics.
Yeah. New Age wasn't a thing. Like that wasn't a thing until like the late 80s. They started calling things New Age. all these.
No,
Tony
I
Robbins
had books that had, well, they were mostly books on metaphysics and stuff like that. They had the title New Age in them back
before the late 80s. Like because
I have to go down to my basement and check.
Yeah, go ahead.
Some of them are second editions. Some of them are like second editions. I have to see when the first edition was.
TomMitchellCoach.com. Go there and learn about Tom and all his books, except the book that I talked about, which is not one of his books. But I went to Amazon, which is again basically it's got a lot of books that aren't his in this just endless scroll of books by Tom Mitchell. See, now Amazon's got to get this shit right. They can't be doing that.
No.
So everything about sports.
I wonder how much of my stuff was under somebody else's name. No.
Everything. I published a theory of general relativity.
Matt, I have probably finished my 2 books that I started writing and just don't realize it, and they're under someone else's name in Amazon.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I published this theory of general relativity, and they published it under this guy Al Einstein or something under his name.
Wasn't it Einstein? Was it Is it Einstein?
Yeah, Einstein Island.
I thought that was Einstein. Einstein. Okay.
Yeah. So bottom line here with Tom, we didn't figure out how to make me a winner. And the number one question is it too late for me to be a winner? I think the answer is yes, but I wanted to hear from an expert.
Well, he'll tell you no, and he'll tell you why it's not too late for you to be a winner, because you have to define winning. Right. You have to define winning. I mean, I can tell you.
You know how you define winning?
I can tell you that as a perennial underachiever, you have to define winning.
You have to just come out and declare, because we were dragging right back into the politics, right? But this is Trump's MO with all the elections, the 3 that he's been in. He always comes out and declares himself the winner before they're even done counting. Like that's a big part of it. Don't even wait till the 9th inning, 7th inning, come out and just say, "Thank you, everybody, go home, we won," and people be like, "What? It's 2 innings left." No. Fake news, TDS.
As soon as you get 1 run in the first, if you go up by 1 run in the first inning, just declare victory and walk off. Just leave.
Funny he brought up Lincecum, because I was thinking about it. Somebody listed the greatest pitchers. He's not even in on these social media posts. He doesn't even come up. And I remember what this kid is. He's just like a freak of nature. Nobody comes out and is that good. I was remembering when Doc Gooden first came. Doc Gooden's first 2 years were lighting the world on fire. Lincecum did that for 5 or 6 years straight. When he first.
Now I was funny because I always think I used to love Randy Johnson. And first of all, I loved his nickname, the Big Unit.
Big Unit.
And it's been because they said he was tall and thin like the number 1. That's why they called him the Unit.
But he wasn't good right out of the box. He was hard thrower right out of the box because he was so fucking big. But when I think he came up with Montreal, and in the first couple of years, he was wild as fuck and couldn't find like the typical big strong guys, just too much power and not enough
finesse.
Concentrating on focus.
Yeah, he was his. I think the theory that I developed was that he was gripping the ball too tight. Because of his strength and his size, because the baseballs don't get bigger as you get bigger. They stay the same size. And I thought that he just had too much hand and was holding it too tight. That was the theory that I was having about his pitching. I wanted to work with him. I wanted to work with him because I thought I could fix his coaching, fix his pitching.
That's unusual for a guy that good to 6 different teams, right? I mean, especially pitchers. Pitchers, if they're that good, they don't get traded often, or
unless you're a disruptor, unless you're a disruptor in the locker room, if you're difficult to work with, and then they'll say, okay, we'll take somebody else. You can have our problem.
He's not mentioned in a lot of the lists of all-time great pitchers too. Pitchers are a tough thing. First of all. You got guys like Maddox and
Maddox was amazing, fucking amazing. Ken Jacoby, I thought Ken Jacoby was a tremendously good pitcher. He was with the Pittsburgh Pirates, I think in the late 70s. He had like a sidearm delivery that almost scraped the ground when it was phenomenal.
I think Randy Johnson's the only guy to ever kill a bird, right? I
think so. The bird just exploded. It just fucking exploded.
Those feathers are still flopping around somewhere. Oh my! Yeah.
And for those of you who don't know this, there's video footage of Randy Johnson pitching in a major league game, and a bird flew across his path, and the ball hit the bird, and the bird just exploded. That's how fast that pitch was.
What the call was? Was it I guess it was a ball or a strike. What
was it? Pass interference? I don't. Let's see. Let me see. I'm gonna look it up. I'm trying. Randy Johnson hits bird.
Yeah. So let me just, while you're looking it up, because the competition, first of all, now you got Ohtani in there, who is off the charts, hitting, pitching, all this stuff. But you have Nolan Ryan with 7 no-hitters and like 5 billion strikeouts. You have Walter Johnson. You have Cy Young. You have Steve Carlton. You have Sandy Koufax, Tom Seaver, Roger Clemens. But Clemens is kind of tainted by the steroid stuff. There's so many great pitchers, though, that in the top 10 lists of all these people and Hall of Famers and stuff, Randy Johnson doesn't even get a mention, which is fucking bizarre for how good he was. And again, the 6 teams thing is also kind of bizarre with him.
The play was ruled a no pitch, so he got to throw that over.
And the bird would like to have a word about that.
It says, I'm reading it. It says the incident occurred in the 7th inning, and the bird was struck just before reaching the plate, causing a dramatic moment as the bird flew over the catcher's head and landed a few feet away.
I wonder how the other birds, when they're sitting up on the top of the stadium and they see that happen, there's got to be some chatter. Like, did you see that? Fucking don't fly in front of the plate. What the hell? Where did? I don't know. It's against bird etiquette.
Oh yeah.
Dr. Jeffrey.
The video is also available, but yeah, it's.
What? That should be why isn't that a TikTok reel?
It is. It's a meme. When I want to type up Randy Johnson hits bird. Okay, when I'm typing that. And they had all these options before I could enter. It's like the meme, the GIF or GIF, whatever how people say it, the video, 27 seconds, and it's just a 27-second video on YouTube. I didn't know it's a spring training game. I didn't realize that.
Oh, I didn't know that either. I thought
March 24th because it's March 24th, 2001.
Maybe it wasn't a spring training game, though, because at some point they started, and I don't know where they blurred the line on this. it used to be first week of April was opening day, and then they started doing it in last week of March. March 24th might be pushing it. It probably was still spring training. Does it say spring training?
It says on the video. Oh, and the bird. Yeah, the bird landed. I'm trying to see if the bird survived. It doesn't look like it did.
No, I don't think it could. From what I remember, I think it was just like it looked like a puff of feathers, and there was
Yeah,
no
it
bird
was a
left.
puff of feathers, but I've seen feathers fly and birds survive. But yeah, that was because I don't remember. I don't know if I saw that live or not. That's I've seen it so many times. I must have seen it on the news because I didn't follow spring training. I did like Randy Johnson though. I really liked Randy Johnson, and when Arizona was playing against New York, I was really rooting for Randy Johnson. And I think he was playing with. I think Kurt Schilling was also on his team at the time.
Yeah.
I think he and Kurt Schilling were teammates.
Yeah,
and I was not. I did not like. I was not a Kurt Schilling fan, but when he was playing with Randy Johnson, I was on the Kurt Schilling train. I was
not even when he was a Philadelphia Philly, because when he was, this before he got all political and stuff, and everybody knew he was a Nazi. When he was on Philadelphia, and he was just like a workhorse. He was a throwback, Kurt Schilling. There
was one game. I think it was playing for Boston at the time. I think there was one game where his heel was like bleeding. His back. It was like bleeding like crazy.
Yeah.
But this is like I said, I was a Kurt Schilling fan before he was a Nazi.
Yeah, that's a new t-shirt in the MindDogTV.com/merch, or it will be. It says, bird explodes after flying in the path of Randy Johnson's pitch. So explodes doesn't kind of bode too well for surviving. Exploded bird.
I've seen quite a few sex videos where people have exploded and survived.
Well, you're bringing up my father again, aren't you? All right. We should end this month's stuff.
Matt, I just have one last word for you, Matt. I want you to marry this girl. Do me the honor of making me a grandfather before I die.
One more political question for you before we get off the air. These Congress guys, right? This goes to both parties. They've had like abusing their staffs. Like this is like a systematic thing. You get an intern on your staff and you fuck them on the desk, and then they get sued. And everybody in Congress voted to keep this stuff quiet. Like that's pretty. First of all, you should not be allowed to rule on whether your own stuff gets publicized, right? But
I didn't know they voted on that. When did that happen?
Like yesterday or something. They all voted. Then I had the whole thing here. I don't know why. I just saw it, but it's gone now. A huge majority. It wasn't just like a one party thing. It was almost completely bipartisan, like 357 to 40 something, and a bunch of no votes on it. But I mean, a lot of them are just saying, but the Epstein files, sure, but not us. Don't be putting our own.
That's weird because, first of all, one of the first things the Trump administration did was to dismantle the Congressional Ethics Committee. Just like so that they're the ones who monitored the Congress's ethics, and that's one of the first thing they do is just dismantle that. And the Democrats are up in arms saying, no, you can't get rid of the ethics committee. They keep us in check. So I don't understand anybody's reasoning. And you're right. I think you're right. You should not be allowed to rule on whether or not your crimes get investigated. That should be like a totally separate thing. It's like the people. That should be something that the people should vote on. It's like should our crimes be should we be held responsible for that kind of stuff? Yes.
So here, controversial move: 357 members of Congress, including 175 Republicans and 182 Democrats, voted to refer a resolution that would have forced They basically killed the whole resolution. This was Nancy Mace's resolution on sexual harassment claims against lawmakers, which, by the way, we pay those lawsuits when they happen. We should definitely don't give us the information on who our money's going to. That's even worse. I mean, all of this stuff. But so basically, let's just burn down the Senate and the House of Representatives, right? We're going to do that today.
I want to know
You're
now.
Go,
we'll
you're
know
go over there.
If that, since that bill didn't pass, what is the current? What steps are what reinforcement or what enforcement rules are in place now? Then, what what's going on now that she felt that she needed to have that bill? Like, I don't know, is it something like the Congress already has something there in place, and that's
interesting. Yeah, I don't know
why now. I mean, there was, like, for example, there was a Protection for Women's Act. I can't remember the exact name, and in the process, that it was like up for renewal, and the Republicans said no because the Democrats wanted to add a thing about Native Americans in there because there was a rash of non-native people, contractors going onto native land, raping women, and then leaving the reservations. And then the tribal police wouldn't be able to pursue them. And the Democrats would say, no, we want them to, no, if you commit a crime, we want you held accountable. And the Republicans like, no, they're already protected under this, that. So we don't need extra rules. We don't need an extra regulation. So that's what I'm just wondering if there's something in place and they feel like that was too much regulation, or if there was like a poison pill in that bill that, okay, we can do this, but also we get pictures of your genitals or something, saying some kind of poison pill that nobody's going to want. I don't know.
The House voted 357 to 65 to block Representative Nancy Mace's resolution demanding release of House Ethics Committee records on sexual harassment investigations and taxpayer-funded payouts. This is as corrupt as America.
Okay, so all right, so it's like they're already being punished, and she's saying, "I want the records made public." They've already been published. Right. So, okay, but they're already being punished. We want the records public. And they're saying, we don't mind being punished. We don't want the records public. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, it's been going on forever. It's not like it's something new, but only 65 of them were in favor of making it public.
I wonder how many of them were women.
Yeah, and that's probably all of them. I bet you all of them were women, and all of them are innocent. Like they're the only ones not abusing their interns or whatever. That those 65 people, the 357 are probably all dirty.
Yeah, the 357 all have or thinking about it. they're thinking about it. Like right now. It's like, oh, if I have to work late one more night.
It's fucking shameful, man. This is the country we live in, where you, if you do it in private life, for a good reason, you're a pariah for doing that in public life. But if you become part of the government, forget about it. That's okay. We'll just keep it quiet and shush. This is the world we live in. Anyway, tonight I have Dr. Jeffrey Boone, who's going to tell me how to not have a heart attack. Is that a good thing? That's a good thing, right?
I guess if you want to avoid having a heart attack, sure.
I do. I think that's probably one of the worst ways to die. It's just it's very painful from what I've seen.
I think that my late brother-in-law had the worst way to die. His ex-wife had a key to his place because they had joint custody of the kids, and if there's anything. If there's an emergency, he wanted her to be able to get to the kids, so he gave her a key. But it wasn't like she's not like she had to run to the house. She just had a key for emergencies. And so he was with my sister at the time, and she did not like the idea that he had moved on. And so he was asleep. She came in and she stabbed him to death. But watch it. I'll take that back. Not to death. She stabbed him very, very harmful, very, very bad. And then she gave him the phone so he could call for help. And then he picks up the phone and she cuts the cord. That's a bad. Yes.
That's horror movie shit.
Yes, because he thinks he has a chance. He has the phone, and he's got the phone in his hand, and she cuts the cord. That's a mean bitch.
Listen, no, we got to get off the air. But I'm just thinking, if I would have been there seeing her him give her the key, I would have said, "Well, you're going to get stabbed. That's going to lead to a stabbing." You don't give her the key.
He probably didn't. Look, I'm pretty sure that was the last thing on his mind at the time. Now, I'm pretty sure that once he got the phone, he was trying to decide if he should call the locksmith or an ambulance. It's like, take that bitch's key. And she's like, no, you don't really get to choose who you're going to call. Cut the cord.
Yeah.
And he's probably
call the ambulance. Call the locksmith once the ambulance delivers you into the hospital.
I'm changing the locks, bitch.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. All right. Let's get off the air here and let Tony Walker do his thing. Whatever. He's been on the air for
half an hour. Already. Well, actually, he's only been on the air for like 30 minutes because his introduction is 5 minutes long.
Right. All right, let's get out of here. And I can't walk around Nappy, so I'm just going to wheeze around Nappy. Have a great day, and thanks for coming, and turn on your radio button. By the way, we learned that you can smoke too much weed. This is what we learned today. You can smoke too much weed. Not me. Yeah.
me, listen to me now. Listen to me, listen to me, listen to me now. Listen to me, listen to me, listen to me